Yep. There we go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome Monday Night Raw. Y'all know what it is. It is the mic check, real informal. We talk about everything that we don't talk about when it comes to football or basketball or current events at HBCU. I'm your co-host Reggie. How you feeling, good brother?
I am feeling great. I'm happy to be here. It feels good to podcast again in this wonderful seat with you, my brother. We got some interesting topics to cover. We got some fun to have, and we have a new NBA champion and a couple of trades.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how in basketball the draft signifies the end of the season, where in football the draft signifies the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I think they've done that to make basketball be year round. That was one of the things that kind of caught me off. Makes you think is, all right, we just finished the season. Bam, here we go right into trades and draft, and then free agency and more trades and more draft. And we expect this summer to be crazy. Football is not. Football is damn near dormant right now.
Well, it's about to kick up because because you're right. You enter the dead period of July, which is also while we got time, letting y'all know July. We normally take we may be on here, we may be a little summer hours.
Yeah. Big Up gonna have some Sunday fun days, so y'all might not catch us every Monday. Gotta have a life too, right?
Yeah, the lunch hour podcast is gonna go again. It is not a formal,
Yeah.
not formal at all. Maybe on tomorrow. It is what it is. But y'all know what it
I
is when
think
it comes to
y'all
the mic check. Go ahead.
I think y'all should get very, very comfortable with some short form content. We might hop in and talk about the draft results, depending on how interesting that gets. But yeah, Mondays, it's fun days too. Thank y'all
Yeah,
for
yes,
rocking with us
sir.
today, though.
And especially since I'm
And
about to be off on Tuesdays too. So yeah, I gotta turn up on Mondays.
there you go with that again. But we are here. We got to start out with a farewell. John
Lights
Bones
out.
Jones, lights out himself, has turned the lights out, says that he is retiring from MMA. He's made a ton of money. He's arguably the best fighter to ever do it. Congratulations on a job well done. Another black historical icon that has whooped everybody.
On the court, on in the octagon, in the arena, he is one of the greatest fighters we have ever seen, possibly the greatest fighter.
Oh, yeah. He's
Uh,
got to be at least in the conversation.
he is. We've had three athletes come to careers who are coming to a close. Tom Brady, we saw as the greatest football player or the greatest quarterback of all time we've seen.
Check.
LeBron is on the end of his career,
Allegedly.
right? I mean, he may play till 50. I don't know. But he's has arguably had the greatest career of all time. And then you have John Bones Jones, who is arguably the greatest UFC fighter in history, really mixed martial arts fighter, competitive mixed martial arts fighter in history. Retiring. Shout out to him, man. Uh, I he's like almost like Harden a little bit in that he revolutionized the sport with his moves. The elbows, for one thing, his
Yes, for
elbows
sure.
are lethal. And then of course he started the knee kick, and that just he was putting people to sleep.
He's just a different guy. Just and very similar how Harden was, where it was just like 30 points every night, every night, every night, every night, every night.
Every
John Bones
night.
Jones was just going. Y'all was practicing when y'all was fighting him because you knew you were going to lose. It wasn't going to be. And I was just watching one of these guys talk about John Bones Jones, and I wouldn't fight him. And these are MMA fighters who are the guys who are willing to fight everybody. When you got people making business decisions and they fight for a living, job well done.
Yeah, him and Cormier had some battles, man. Him and Cormier had some battles.
I really hope that they have like a podcast now that it's all said and done. Their banter back and forth was good. And I think they have more respect than they probably show us for each other.
I don't know if their personalities match because of his Bones is, well, you saw he's very conservative.
Right.
And Cormier I don't think is. And that can arise with tension. But whatever. We're not gonna get into that.
That is a podcast where somebody could get slapped. You say the wrong thing to the wrong guy, and you might
somebody
not
could
have
get slapped. That's a podcast where nobody could stop it. If they decide to fight, you can't stop them. They can rip your arm out your socket. Hey. Both of them.
It wouldn't be my job to stop it or slow it down for that matter. Hey, good luck and Godspeed. Go with God.
What's the guy Bones Jones is supposed to fight? White dude that challenged him and said, he basically said, I'm going to retire him. Y'all, I'll think of the name in a second. Put it in the chat if you will. He is the new UFC champion, as new UFC heavyweight champion since Bones Jones retired.
New and Bones Jones don't have nothing to go together. So yeah, if you knew
Tom Aspinall, that's his name.
Oh,
that's his name, Aspinall, okay. Who's been talking trash and all of those things, trying to get Bones Jones to fight, and Bones just said, "No, I ain't gonna do it no more." So he's the new champion.
To fight you, little man. I'm the GOAT. It's like calling LeBron now. All right. Have a seat, bro. Have a seat. Relax.
That might be the theme of this whole, especially in basketball. Now that the finals is over, it's wide open. Pause if necessary. Like
very much so.
The UFC heavyweight Aspinall. I mean, he ain't had a lot of fights, so he could be knocked out at any turn. Basketball, the East whole leg done fell off. So I mean, it's a lot going on, bro. It's a lot going on.
That's a perfect lead. Yep, because that's how I feel. There's a perfect lead into speaking of things being wide open, and only kind of for the 6th year in a row, an SEC team has won the College World Series. LSU just won it. They beat Coastal Carolina, which we will get into a little bit more detail here. Then before that, Tennessee, LSU again, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt. It's getting interesting for the SEC. And more, I go back to, I can't think of the commissioner's name right now, of why are we here?
I don't know about that.
6 championships in a row. Why are we? I mean,
because we get to beat up on y'all and take all the money.
Right. But what are you doing if you're not an SEC team playing and trying to win a College World Series at this point? And don't forget,
you're not playing for a World Series.
I'm gonna remind y'all every week. You know who the reigning basketball champions are. It's your Florida Gators, baby. Hey, baby, and we've been paying money for new players. Hey, we ready to run it back. And football, that right now, which is crazy, might not be the best sport for us.
Yeah, for you guys that were down in the SEC, I was in our comments, or y'all were in our comments talking all that trash.
Got the hell on now.
The SEC is dead. Just because y'all won a couple in basketball and football, Big Ten. Don't let the SEC win football now. Yeah. You let the SEC clean sweep after talking all this trash to us. First off, I got the screenshots, so I'm just waiting. If it happens, I'm lighting a fire. I will be back for that. I tell you that. Won't be no break then. Man. We'll be right back.
Nah, like we never left. Right at your door, my dog. And NIL has something to do with this, but also how you're the ACC.
No. Let them tell it. NIL evens the playing field. Isn't that what they said? That's what they keep saying. NIL, since NIL came, the SEC is dead. That's what they said.
Well, speaking of dead,
3 years now.
We ain't gonna say dead, but we are going to say as soon as I find it here. Here it is. Y'all buckle up. This is an addition. This is was the championship game against Coastal Carolina versus LSU.
Oh my goodness, he just threw Kevin Schnall out of the game. Wow. In the bottom of the first inning, the home plate umpire throws Kevin Schnall out of this game, and down goes an umpire who had come in to get in the middle of things.
Hold on.
Down goes an umpire. Down goes an umpire who had come in to get in the middle of things.
Look at it right here. Wait for it. 2 games. All right, so for you guys on the audio playback, that is the ejection in the bottom of the first of Coach Kevin Schnall, who is the coach of the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Say that 3 times fast. I bet you can't. Apparently, at the top of the first, there was some back and forth, I think, at either the third base or first base, and that's where I think it started. But the ejection in the bottom of the first in a College World Series game is embarrassing. Now, the more embarrassing part is, as you can see, one of the umpires takes a tumble. And it wasn't because Schnall pushed him or punched him or put hands on him or anything. The turf monster got him. So he gets up. He kind of stumbles around like a small baby for a little bit. Then he puts up the 2 symbol. What that 2 symbol means is he's already been ejected for this game, but he's saying that there should be a 2-game ejection for, I don't know. Now with all of that information, I'm going to play it one more time and let y'all watch it so you can see him take this tumble and also see that nobody touched him.
In the bottom of the first inning, the home plate umpire throws Kevin Schnall out of this game, and down goes an umpire who had come in to get in the middle of things.
2. Yeah, oh, man. So clearly Kevin Schnall thoroughly upset, and then he responds with, I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism. I'm inclined to agree. Bro, if you fall, you fail. I didn't make you fall. I didn't make you do anything. You did that on your own volition, brother.
These umpires, y'all
don't
understand how numbered your days are.
Well, you remember Rosie from the Jetsons? She been calling balls and strikes.
Let me tell y'all keep fucking messing up. I'm trying to stop cursing. Y'all keep messing up, bro. This ain't just NCAA. This is MLB.
Them boys in Blacksburg tried to tell you they will not replace us. You need to see if you go get them tiki torches because they're gonna replace y'all. And
the thing is, y'all making it easy for them. There's no way in a championship game that Kevin Schnall should have been ejected. And I don't care what the banter was. How do you not get a warning?
Correct. Like in the bottom of the first of game 2 of the College World Series. That's embarrassing.
Coastal Carolina. Mind you, this is a mid-major.
Right.
Baseball is one of the few sports where, and hockey really, the size of the athletic program doesn't necessarily matter.
Correct.
And for them, a mid-major to make it all the way to the finals of the College Baseball World Series, and then you get kicked out.
It's like April.
And you get kicked out, and then by one umpire who's sensitive, because there's no way you could have given a warning in the bottom of the first. So one umpire is sensitive, you get kicked out. Then to a second umpire is unathletic and sensitive, and then says he's out for 2 games. If I were Coastal Carolina, I would protest.
Absolutely.
I would have protested. And it sucks for LSU because this is really all the news about. We ain't really talked about LSU.
Right. And the other even more, I mean, I got to be real here. It makes it look away. We just talked about them winning the SEC winning 6 championships in a row. Then you take this small school and you eject their coach at the very beginning of the game. Yeah, even if you may have to think that he deserved it, that's not the time to ring him up. You let him play. They've gotten too far. Like I said before Reggie started talking, they haven't lost a game since I think like mid to late April. This is a team that's playing their ass off, and they already down 1 to the evil empire who is LSU. The least you could do, hey man, just let them play, bro. You can have a conversation with the manager, all of that, but let them play. Don't do that. That to me was a little too far.
And you already looking all that praising we did of the SEC, like you said, it does look. I mean, if I were the Chanticleers, I'd be like, yo, y'all paid him.
Right.
Y'all paid him.
Even if it's not true, just don't. Even if I'm LSU, don't don't give anybody any excuse to say, oh, they got luck. No, I want to beat them, and I want to beat them with everybody they got and some extras if they need the help. I'm just that serious about it. We're gonna move on to another icon here. We are setting up thoughts and prayers for Coach Ron Washington, former third base coach of the Atlanta Braves and current manager of the Anaheim/LA Angels. They haven't really given us much information, and honestly, it ain't our business. But as a guy who's been a great asset to the Atlanta Braves and to the Angels, and just a great manager overall. We want to send thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, T's and P's, man. He's been a great asset to baseball. One of the best stories, turnaround stories you can have both on and off the field. We won't highlight all of the things that he came from, but just know he battled some inner demons that he was able to overcome. Come back to be able to be a top-notch manager,
right,
and third base coach, position coach, who basically grew up the Atlanta Braves infield. Right?
Correct.
Austin Riley, Albies, RC got Arcia some money, even though he got traded. Arcia still played well. Dansby Swanson, Freddie Freeman. He had an impact on all of them.
He had an all-star infield, and all of them attribute their ascension to wherever they were from that level to the next level to Coach Washington. So, without a shadow of a doubt.
And if you doubt him, go look at the Angels. They ain't awful.
they ain't the Angels that they used to be. Let me tell you that.
So he's playing well.
And I will
we don't know.
I will say, just on the Angels, anything that they've done is because of Ron Washington. I unfortunately saw it here this weekend that the Angels single A, double A, triple A teams are all the worst in their division. So they just don't have good players. And he's still finding a way to make this team look reasonable with no players anywhere. And your MVP all-world player gone. And now it's just Mike Trout.
Who's playing well.
Right. But he's out there.
But yeah, so I wanted to finish what I was saying. He is one of the best ambassadors of the game. We didn't really get to know what's wrong with it. I just know that he's stepping away. Hopefully it's something real quick. And if he decides to let us know what's happening once he passes all the checkpoints to come back and be a manager again, we're all ears. But prayers, T's and P's for you.
Or you don't have to let us know. We still going to support you. And yeah, just thank you for being an excellent ambassador to the game. Now, on the other side of that, if I can find it here, and I can't, so we just gonna talk about it. How do you feel about ICE agents being at the LA Dodgers game? And I want to take Ron Washington down so he is not associated with that in any way.
Wild. So the backstory of the LA Dodgers game, ICE agents showed up because LA has a heavy Hispanic population. Showed up to the game to try to, with no real probable cause, in the way that the rules work. If they show up and you run, that's being complicit in according to the new law they don't even have no laws according to them. So that's why they're able to arrest so many people. Because you run or police pull up, you don't know what's happening. So with all that being said, it's wild. Shout out to the Dodgers for having some balls and saying, no, you're not going to be there. And then escorting them away. Not saying no and then turning y'all loose to the crowd outside the stadium. No, we're going to escort y'all off the property, off the premises, and make sure that you leave us alone. I wish the rest of us would stand up to some of the ICE agents like that.
Right. I also appreciate them actually posting about the situation. This does two things. If you are illegal and you're trying to duck the smoke, hey, what I'm telling you is those people are going to be around here. So as much as we want your support at your house if you want to stay safe. I appreciate them ringing that bell. Number one, I appreciate the tweet just in general to let us know. And I appreciate all the people who took photos because, of course, ICE comes back. And it's crazy that we're like having these discussions of back and forth via X, which we all still call Twitter. So ICE comes back out and says we weren't at the game, where then everybody in the world shows the photos of the ICE agents at the game. Number one, stop lying to us because we're not stupid. But we also know you're going to lie. But at least don't look
not all of us are not stupid.
Let's not look like ICE agents if you're going to say ICE agents weren't there. Bro, y'all look the iciest. There was
of agents.
Right
and
there.
Unfortunately, what I feel is they're going to end up, I'm praying that nobody gets hurt. But these ICE agents aren't all agents. They're also YT vigilantes who are taking it upon themselves, which is why a lot of them are wearing masks and all of those things. And I hope that this gets resolved soon. I doubt it because of our president.
That's my thing.
But I hope it gets resolved soon, though. And otherwise, somebody gonna get hurt.
I unfortunately think that that's the answer. I don't want that to happen, but you're gonna have to run up on somebody and not identify yourself, and then they hit you with the pew pew or the pow pow, and then they're like, "Oh, we should probably do something different." I of course don't want it to escalate there, but I live in Texas, so you running up on somebody masked up, not identifying yourself. Oh, you want first class tickets to the upper room.
Yeah, man. So you had that going on, and then there was also smoke inside the game. You had the Dodgers and the Padres, who literally got into a fight, and Shohei Ohtani had to play peacemaker after he got hit with a 100-mile-per-hour fastball for the second time after the Dodgers hit Fernando Tatis Jr. twice. So there was a lot of smoke.
That's cool. That's cool. But let me tell you what you ain't going to do in this here league. You're going to hit Shohei, who just came back. You ain't going to do that. And it was funny because when he walked over to the Dodgers dugout, and I was like, 100%, not a guy anybody there going to touch. And, you know, he went over there with the olive branch. I do like him because he just seems to be a very amicable guy. He does a lot of cleaning up and just the things that most of our American athletes don't do, which I appreciate. He seems to be an elite when it comes to sportsmanship, very amicable, polite guy. But let me tell y'all, hey, anything at Shohei Ohtani, you're asking for them to put you out of the league, brother. And they will 100% send you to negative A. They'll send you to junior varsity. You'll be playing baseball in Pelican Bay. You keep throwing it Shohei. I don't care if they hit Tatis, great baseball player. Still, different conversation here. Make good decisions.
Yeah, y'all not gonna hit Shohei. That'll be the last time he get. And I think he got hit in the elbow and the back. That'll be the last time that he gets hit this year. At least maliciously.
That's when they send out that work memo. Hey guys, just in case you didn't know, off limits.
Here are the rules, just for you to know.
Yeah. What you mean? I can't do it if I have to? Then they be like, oh well, we clearly outlined this in the memo of the email. If you need any more conversation, you come on down to HR and we can talk about it as a roundtable. When they tell you they finna have that conversation, HR, gather your things, brother. You'll be out of there.
Security going. You ain't even and they start walking you out of with security. You don't even see your supervisor. Yeah, you got a meeting with who?
No, Rob Manfred will cut that key card on you so quick. You beep beep. Oh, you don't work here no more, brother.
Yes, sir. Braves update.
Yes. I mean, we doing okay. What's the score today?
We were up 3-2 last time I checked.
Bottom of the eighth, 2 outs. Braves up 3-2. Keep us lifted in prayer. We need this. It would be great to get another one against the Mets here.
We are playing the Mets. We are coming off of a week where we swept the Mets. Kind of bombed against the Marlins. I think we lost that series 2-1. Might have won that series 2-1. The Mets are being the Mets. Soto, one of the worst base running errors I've seen in a long time.
Now, there is a specific podcast between two African-American gentlemen who both have beards that told you, boy, this is a terrible deal for Juan Soto. But congratulations to the Mets because we needed you to do it. Oh, that's
so the Mets are boo-boo. We're still very inconsistent. But we got some bad news. Chris Sale fractures his ribs on a athletic play for a 37-year-old white pitcher.
It was. I mean, let's be real. It's one of his best plays. It's just sad that we can't have legitimately anything nice. The moment, like we literally celebrating his strikeouts last week, and then here we are. We go right into the same play where we're celebrating this man, also on the 15-day DL.
For fractured ribs after getting a ground ball. It was a great play. So we brought up Austin Cox, who has been back and forth to the minor leagues a few times. Hopefully, I mean, our pitching staff hadn't been great anyway, and now we lose literally the best pitcher.
Right. I mean, we've been fighting all our life. I don't have any, just y'all know how much this little piece of team matters to us. We trying the best.
I expect for us to make a move now. I mean, Strider doesn't seem like he's fully healthy. We lost Freed. I think we lost the young pitcher to Tommy John. So we're gonna have to make a move in the pitching staff. But on the hitting side, y'all forget about Jurickson Profar, don't you?
Yeah, we
in out.
We got him we got him for 71 games. He can't play in the playoffs, but hey, man, we'll be more than happy to take him right now and fill out the outfield. Mike Harris has not played great. We really it would be nice for him to turn it around. We trying to get it done, man. It ain't easy right now. That's all I can say.
Profile looks like he is ready to come back. He hit 2 home runs the last time he played in Gwinnett, which was like 2 days ago.
Now that is the unfair part. Is you got those guys in AAA playing against world beaters, and you like, hey, I'm trying to keep a job. Don't send Ronnie Rockets down here to,
and then follow up with Profar.
Right, bruh. I'm not that good. I'm not that good, and I know that it sucks to say, but I'm just not that good. I'm good. Trust me. I am good, but not that good. These guys are elite.
Yep.
I mean, Profar, you got all the rest in the world, brother. You need to come back ready to play. And we need.
Other than that, man, it's quiet on the Snicker front. I think he is being actively evaluated. Alex Anthopoulos, you do need to help us out and go get a pitcher. I think we were in on Devers, but Devers didn't want to play for Bob. We were in on Devers, but I feel like we need more pitching than hitting at this point.
Yeah, I don't think that he don't move the needle for me in a way that getting into a big contract for, there are other places for us to spend money, and we already kind of frugal. Let's not blow money on that when pitching is clearly the bigger issue for us and has been for a while. The bats, you look at this roster, you look at the lineup on a nightly basis. It's not many lineups where you look at the hitting and say, oh, they're better than us. You got to do it with what you got. You can't ask for any more. I don't think so.
Well, yeah, on the coaching side, we do need run support when our pitchers aren't doing well. We can't put together a full game.
But that's what I'm saying. You got the hitters. You gotta make them hit. That's gotta be it. The pitchers,
100%.
we ain't got that.
Yeah,
it would be nice.
Hold on, just a little while longer. That's where we are. But I think that's it for the mic check, huh?
Yep. Make sure I hit this loop button so we don't play ourselves. We are actually going to come back and talk a little bit more HBCU baseball. Take this moment to mentally and emotionally prepare yourselves. And Reggie and I will return shortly.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Nope.
No, check your mic.
My mic is there. I'm fine.
Okay.
You couldn't. I didn't change that.
Okay.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 196 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host Reggie.
I'm your co-host Norwood. Our powers combined. We are your HBCU homeboys. Welcome to Monday Night Raw.
How you feeling, brother? How you feeling?
I am feeling well. We just finished the basketball season. I am a little concerned about exactly what I'm going to do with my time now that there is no sports. But we're going to figure it out for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is when we come to Monday Night Raw. We do our HBCU news around the culture, followed by whatever is in season, football or basketball. This time it'll be basketball. Then we round out with football as well. If you're listening to the playback, go back and listen to the mic check that is released on YouTube every week, as well as follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all of your socials, as well as follow Dive Team Media Network as well. We had some political correspondence from our co-anchor, Eloy Amaker, for the political side, along with everything dealing with Iran and the state of the U.S. So with that being said, man, let's get into it. Let's start out with our HBCU news around the culture.
Yes, we are starting back with something that kind of continues.
Baseball.
Yes, you already know what it is. More black baseball, baby.
So the CIAA is bringing back championship baseball for the first time in 8 years. The CIAA as a conference disabled baseball or stopped baseball from being a championship sport. I think some schools had intramurals just to kind of keep it going. But as far as competing in the NCAA, they discontinued that. That was the word, discontinued that in 2017. And it is a momentous occasion to bring it back.
Yeah, this is good for all parties involved. And what do we say every show? More black baseball. This is by definition black baseball. Always great. Congratulations, CIAA. And yeah, y'all go support.
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second. I gotta make sure that I am on my Yeti microphone, which sounds so much better. I apologize if I sound like I was in the bathroom of an airplane. I am now back on my microphone. So
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Talked about CIAA. Shout out to the. Can't wait for it to turn up. Speaking of baseball, you had many HBCU players invited to the combine, to the Major League Baseball combine. You had shout out to Cardell Thibodeau from Southern University, Brody Popple from FAMU, and Juan Cruz from ASU. I believe that's going to be Alabama State and not Albany. Please, if I'm wrong, don't shoot.
Nah, jump it. Just jump it. Pull up on him. Pull up on him. Bow, 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 bow. Go, baby.
But shout out to them, man. I'm excited that they're getting the press. Shout out to Major League Baseball for making this happen, and shout out to the Major League Baseball Players Association for also making this happen. How you feel about this?
This is great. We need more of this. I hope these guys go out and put on a great show and hopefully get picked up and get into a system where they can play in the future. But there are good HBCU baseball players. Now, I'm realistic. The numbers are not the same, but there are guys that are good, just like there are in basketball and specifically even more in football. But it is these type of things where you have to invite them to the combine. They have to get seen by coaches. And then from there, give them an opportunity. They beat these guys. They beat them. That's what it's about.
And they've been competing. The thing is, we cover black baseball. HBCUs have been competing for years. We talked about, and I think we talked about it last week. The SWAC schools opting in, so they even have the amount of scholarship players, the same amount of scholarship players as everybody else. So we're finally getting a level playing field, and hopefully these numbers will grow. I expect for these numbers to grow, personally.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to football. I believe Norfolk State. Shout out to y'all. Tickets continue to surge. They are doing, shout out to their PR department. They have embraced
sports marketing department.
Them too. I'm sure they work hand in hand. You're right. They have,
I'm a sport man. I got whoa now. That's cool. PR just great. There's a small department over there that work their ass off. You got to give people credit.
Yeah, and they are taking advantage of the moment. They've embraced everything that is Virginia. They've had Norfolk State. They hired Mike Vick. They've had Allen Iverson everywhere. He's used his connections. Their prices surge, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, has gone from like $60 to $100. So it's not anything crazy per se, but they are generating revenue, and that's what you need.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle
80%.
on this.
Sorry, that was my bad. 80%.
Part of me is great. You're making more money. You got a new hire. You got all the interest in the world. The rest of your sports are doing pretty well. Let's make the money. But also, it's a lot of people who have been supporting Norfolk State for a long time, and then you double the ticket price. I can see both sides.
Yeah, it went from 110 to 200. I get it, but here's the explanation of why. It was part of the ticket sales. They're kind of following the University of Tennessee model. The ticket sales will go straight to the NIL earnings for athletes, so that they will then use that money to then invest back into the roster, which would then generate more money and invest into the program, which would then generate more money for the school. If you frame it that way, I think that takes the sting away of going from $110 to $200 because you feel like you're actually investing into the program.
Well, this is my only thing about that is if you're going to go from 110 to 200, give them people a better experience. You have to find a way to create a value add. And the value add can't just be Michael Vick is coaching. You need to take some of that money and invest it into the fan experience. As a sport marketing, sport management person, I do believe that great, you can charge more for what is perceived to be a better product, but you should give people more than what you were giving them last season. I think that's fair. I believe in an even swap. is a much better relationship for the consumer and for the team, specifically long run.
Yes. I just think the priority the priority should be the fans and the alumni, especially in college and HBCUs. The priority should always be the fans and the alumni.
Because y'all got some money now. There's been an injection of money into this university. Spend that money and make it look like something, because that's what you should do.
Yeah, but what I was saying, you have to kind of project management a little bit and prioritize where you spend that money.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
You're gonna have to invest into the athletic department heavily in order to put a product out on the field that will generate the revenue. So then after you do that, I think you can then maybe you can do it concurrently or simultaneously and invest in all three, which is kind of dividing the pot. But you got to figure out a way to invest in the fan experience as well as spend the money on recruiting and all of those things.
And I'm not asking them to not be realistic. We understand that the money needs to go in the NIL so you can pay more players, so you can bring in better athletes. Sure. But this is where you guys get paid to be marketers and advertisers. You got to find a way to do it within your department. Now, maybe you pay them people a little bit more money to work a little harder. But I do understand you just can't give all the money to sports marketing and say, hey, let's make this the land of milk and honey. I get that too. But if I'm a consumer and I've been going there paying $100 for 20 years and now you ask for more money, then yeah, I want it. I want something. Or otherwise you
wrinkle my name on it or something.
You're gonna have me feel away as a consumer. And that's one thing that I harp on with HBCUs more than anything, because we don't have the biggest fan base, but we have a very loyal fan base. And that requires you take care of those people.
We require that you take care of us too.
Right.
You're correct. You're correct.
I really expect you to roll out the damn red carpet, to be completely honest. But I get it. I mean, we go to Hampton, we get it. Hey man, things are nicer, but it's in there.
Yeah. But speaking of investing, man, I think another example of it is Prairie View. Coach Tremaine Jackson came from Valdosta State. If you go back and listen, this is a callback. He laid out a plan that at the time seemed a little crass. And he had 4 bullet points of don't DM me, I'll DM you. You have 2 days to respond. And
no, you have 4 hours to respond.
Blase.
And don't ask me about money. No, I remember.
Yeah, don't ask me. No, it's 24 hours because he's like, you don't ask me about NIL or I won't talk to you.
It ain't. I know it's not 24 hours because we said, damn, what about you in class? It's 4 hours. I'm almost willing to look that up.
But what Prairie View what they have done though is injected. That's what I was trying to get the intros. They've injected the money into the program, and they now have the #1 recruiting class in the SWAC ahead of Texas Southern. Shout out to Houston, y'all spending that money.
Right.
Florida A&M, Alcorn State, and Alabama State. They've landed 3 stars and 4-star talent in recruiting and the portal. So I mean, whatever he's doing seems to be working right now.
Right. So for me, there are a couple things here. He's surely talked himself into notoriety. I'm gonna read these rules to y'all once again. When I follow you, there's a 4-hour window to follow back, or we're done. Send the number, transcripts, and the highlight on the first message. Address my staff as coach, not bro. Don't ask me about NIL. And then he said, finally, pray, talk to your family, girlfriend, dog, or any other people before we offer you. Not after you take 80 visits. I'm going to want to know ASAP. So from a purely sales point of view, he's a closer. He's not letting you off the phone. Barbecue or mildew. I either want you locked in. From the sounds of it, he don't even want you, which is, as a salesperson, a little scary. You don't have a lot of time to think about this. If I offer, you basically need to be ready to accept. That's interesting.
Capitalizing on his reputation. You
Right.
could do that coming off a national championship appearance.
Right. So I think that, the number one recruiting ranking is great. We've seen the commercials. Of course, he's been all over the media for some of the things that he said. This is the point where you have to start putting what you said with the things that you're going to do, because there's going to be a spotlight. They want to see if this works or not. And if it works, then you're going to see more people do something very similar. If not, that seat could get hot fast.
It seems to be working right now.
Right.
Number one recruiting class. I mean, you need the players. So we'll see.
We got to see you play football. That is the thing.
Yeah, but
and best
we'll
of
see,
luck.
Man. Shout out to Prairie View. New coach, new energy.
Right,
it's working.
And they got a rabbit. Like they're another. Hey, that fan base don't play about their school at all.
No, they be out there with the. They be out there in the middle of nowhere with them.
And they put engineers all over the city of Houston. If you need an engineer, Prairie View got one for you.
Yes, sir. Moving on, man. Moving on to golf real quick. Shout out to the Sapphire Golf Tour, which is the first professional golf tour built for Black women. As the United Golfers Association believes in the power of representation and importance of creating a pipeline for young Black girls and college players. The tour will host 4 marquee events across the country, showcasing elite women golfers building the pipeline for future stars. Tour dates are June 15th in Atlanta, Maryland. The tour dates were announced on June 15th. They will be in Atlanta, Maryland, Houston, and Jacksonville. So make sure y'all go support.
Very Black. Yes, and go support. And I think that the reason that this was very important to me is we continue to lose HBCU golf teams. We need to bring them back. We need to do whatever we can to find a way to make those things work. And this needs to be this very well could be the first exit out of college into the professional realm. Hey, can I play in the Sapphire Golf Tournament just to wet my feet? I think that there is a relationship there that could be cultivated, and this could be great for all parties involved.
HBCUs. Hey, for those that are trying to figure out a way to get your golf programs back and capitalize on golf, this may be a path towards it. Need to partner with them. Need to. Shout out to Sapphire Golf Tour.
Yeah, this is pretty good. And then even better.
Finally, we moving on to, hey man, competitive events aren't always limited to a field or a course or a court. The Virginia State Lunabotics team was the only.
Say that one more time.
Lunabotics.
Okay, what's that? Tell me what that is, Reggie.
It's got something to do with space. Lunar.
Yes, there is a Black space robotics team. Makes history. Woo! Black people in space.
Was the only HBCU to compete at the 2025 NASA Lunabotics Challenge at Kennedy Space Center and crushed it with a team of 15 innovators across engineering and tech majors. They built a robot that completed every challenge on simulated lunar terrain, i.e., driving on the moon. So congrats to VSU for leading the way in this. This is one of the more surprising and fantastic. Braves beat Mets. Surprising and fantastic. Fantastic news stories.
Yes, and Black people in space with robots. How y'all like that? Now, I don't expect this to last very long. I'll be honest. They're not gonna let us get up there with methods of transportation. I just don't see us.
No, they trying to get us. They trying to get away. They trying to get away from
right.
That.
I know, but I feel like they're gonna take whatever we figure out with this Lunabotics team, and they're gonna try. Oh well, thank you for your information, but we're gonna have to take this and run. Literally.
I'm a little surprised that Alabama A&M isn't there because of their location with respect to Cape Canaveral, I believe. So I expect more if they can get
same thing here. We got the Space Center here.
If more notoriety comes to lunabotics and any type of robotics, I think HBCUs, it's just like bowling. We got bowling teams. We could definitely have, and now we got gaming teams, esports. We could
And
definitely
Hampton
have
got
like a
them
robotics
satellites.
league.
We're not gonna forget. I'm never gonna let y'all forget about them satellites they gave us. I want
I don't
all
even know
the
why
things
we got those.
Yeah, but we got them. We got satellites, and now we got cars in space. It's only a matter of time.
Hey, man.
It's only a matter of time. I can see it now, boy. Y'all be
Yeah.
sick of me.
Floating. Hey, but
Bruh.
ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the HBCU
Literally.
News Around the Culture segment. We are going to take a break. I am going to get a beverage, something light, not like liquor, but something light. And then we'll be back with hoops, followed up by football to round out the episode. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. We'll be right back.
Right back as soon as I. And we are back. We are back. We are back. And it's time to talk hoops. How you feeling?
Yes, sir. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with our basketball segment. As I keep trying to lie, I keep hitting my camera. As we basketball segment of episode 196 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. We appreciate you. Always remember to like, follow, and subscribe to Splashcast and Dive Team Media Network on all your socials and everywhere you get your podcasts and social media. Got a few things we're gonna talk about in basketball. Norwood, this is your baby right here. Where are we starting first?
Man.
You want to do WNBA, NBA
Yeah,
finals,
we
NBA
we're
draft?
gonna hit it and get it. We're gonna follow a very simple rubric here. Let's start out with the ladies. Actually, let's do this and then hold on. I don't like that. We're just gonna do that for now. But in 2023, no player received more than 100,000 votes All-Star game, and then this year there are 39 players who have received. I think. Hold on 1 second. This thing is driving me crazy. There are 8 players who have received over 50,000 votes. This year, 39 players have received more than 50,000 votes and 19 over 100,000 votes. This is just the brand growing. There's no other way to put it. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are great for basketball. We're going to talk about it every week. Y'all can be mad. And on top of that, y'all are more than welcome to get right into them TikTok comments because me and Reggie will have time for you every time.
Y'all been in there too.
Yeah, but this is good. This means you have more people interested earlier and they're actively voting and participating. It's a different thing to get somebody to watch a game. It's a whole other thing to get somebody to go to the website and click the website in their free time and vote. Congratulations for the WNBA. They're doing a fantastic job.
You got to take with the good with the bad. We talked about the bad and all of the bad press that you're getting and all the misinformed thoughts and opinions. And we see it all the time in our comments, how if you like, I think we talk about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark a lot. If you like Angel Reese, y'all talk bad about Caitlin. If you like Caitlin, y'all talk bad about Angel. I don't understand why y'all just can't like the player and leave the other player alone. They both succeed.
Honestly, I don't hate that because, I mean, same thing. I hate to continuously bring this up, but this is Magic and Bird. If having an opinion is better, having an opinion, liking or disliking somebody is better than not having feelings at all if you're the league or if you're a women's basketball player.
Definitely for the bottom line. You're right. So of course, and it's also signifying a new day. They finally have a new class of athlete because it's really not just Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. This was a dream draft for the WNBA. And it's growing. I do have a question for you though. Mm-hmm. Before we move on to shout out to the dream, and that's why I'm bringing this question up. Great segue that you didn't even know was happening. The Atlanta Dream are really good. Not even surprising anymore. Pow just had her career high. 16 points, 5 assists, 6 of 8 field goal. Instant offense.
And I think she's like 5 or 7 or something from 3.
She's got to be in the rookie of the year conversation, right?
Great, but I'd rather win. I just want to win. We don't have anybody else winning. We got to take whatever team we get. And I love the individual accolades, but I love the 10-4 way more.
I do love the 10-4, but I'm just saying, if we're talking about voting and all-star votes and all of these things, she's got to be somewhere in the conversation. At least I don't know if they have the rookie game yet, but she's got to be in the rookie of the year conversation. Pow, Ryan Howard. Hey, y'all better go vote.
Bucket.
Alicia Gray.
Bucket. Yes.
Alicia Gray for real. And shout out to Brittany Griner. I got a lot of jokes for you all the time, but you have added some toughness to that culture.
She was an excellent offseason pickup. Atlanta Hawks. Learn, find you a veteran center who can help you out. If you can do anything, watch and learn, please. Ansi Salah.
Watch and learn. So that's all I wanted to bring up. I wanted to highlight the dream. We don't really talk about them a lot because the season is pretty new. And NBA was at a fever pitch. NHL was at a fever pitch. I think we had the draft with football. It was just so much going on. But the WNBA, the Atlanta Dream, are good. And don't let them win. Don't let them win. Pressure's on you, everybody else in Atlanta.
Yep.
United, because y'all won.
And then we come here. The U.S. Embassy denies visas to 17 players from Senegal's women's national team. And I don't have any other way to put this other than this is just trash. I was looking at the whole time is the number of players from different places that they're going to let be in the NBA draft. So when it's convenient and when it's in full support of you, then of course come to the NBA and play. If it's not something that I'm in support of, well, then we'll just cancel visas for you guys. This is, hey, it's disrespectful, it's terrible, it's awful, it's literally all of the above. Y'all should and could do better.
Orange Man is tripping. The United States is in a unique position over the next 2 to 3 years for an international sports, in terms of the international sports landscape. You have the World Cup here next year, and then you also have FIBA, which will be here as well in the next couple years. Mind you, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the Olympics supposed to be here? Aren't the Olympics?
I
may
can
be
look
wrong.
that up. I know for sure World Cup is here, and I think let me check that out. But definitely World Cup is here, and y'all are not making people feel safe. I don't know how to say it any other way. And
right. So you have all of these state of affairs, and the way that we're looking on a global scale is not the greatest right now. I mean, I'm gonna throw something out there that y'all ain't even
way to put it, boy.
I'm gonna throw something out there that y'all ain't even thought about. You know, Iran qualified for the World Cup. You didn't even think about that, did you? They will be here next year, assuming that assuming whatever happens. So,
and you're right. The Summer Olympics will be in LA 2028. You're right.
Yeah. So I mean, you over the next 5 years, the United States is at the center of the international game,
which is crazy. Sports. It goes right back to what we were talking about in the in the mic check. Please go back and listen. We talk about ICE agents at the damn Dodgers game. Well, what do you think people are looking at and thinking? Well, 2028, I feel safe going to the Olympics there? Hell no. Or you also, I hate to have to be this guy, but you piss people off. You remember the last time we had the Olympics here in Atlanta? You don't remember Centennial Olympic Park?
Oh, kaboom. I mean, I think in LA, when they had the unrest in the Middle East in the 80s, they had a whole kidnapping hostage thing. So it's like, listen, sports is not the end all be all, but sports is one of the few things that brings everybody together despite political background. The only people that don't come is North Korea. And at that point, when you start to mess this up, because I work in utility scale, infrastructure is going in. If they mess around and pull this, there have been hundreds of billions of dollars spent on these events.
You know who we are right now? We Charlotte right before they had that baseball all-star game, and then they lost it. Because you're doing stupid shit. Ain't no other way to put it, right?
I'll buy some damn bathroom.
Right.
And that was gonna put y'all.
And now Charlotte,
the next big city,
right? Been begging for a baseball team. Please, let's get a baseball team.
Nope.
You don't know how to have nice things, and neither do. And I'm not gonna say neither do we. Neither do them people who supported this, because we didn't support this, and we think it's some bullshit.
Separate the pot. Y'all do the census every year. Yeah. Now we doing the census. We ain't on that list. We ain't on that list.
We should have stayed at home and minded our damn business. And I'm gonna say that because I think it needs to be said. And I also feel like I want to record it. That's one of the things I like about the podcast is what did Chris say? Ta-da! There it is
right there.
On this day, Monday, June 23rd, 2025. He let y'all know what he felt about this. And I think that matters. And if y'all come looking for somebody, Splashcast don't want no smoke, baby. We don't want not now smoke. But speaking of smoke, NBA has new champions. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are the kids that did one of the youngest teams to ever win a championship. Sam Presti has put together a magnificent deep
The Spurs.
basket.
No,
No,
the Spurs organization.
I
Go
can't
ahead,
even
finish your thought.
call this the Spurs because the Spurs had David Robinson already. There's nobody who's like all of these guys are young, and I don't think that any of them are in their prime yet. So outside of old man Caruso, who they call Unc, this is scary for at least the next 4, 5, 6 years. If I'm LeBron, this probably pushes me closer to retirement. I'm not gonna keep playing with you children because it ain't the juice ain't worth the squeeze. I can go on. Bryson Bronny, you
OKC.
fight him.
Get jumped. OKC.
Right.
They shout out to Sam Presti first off for getting this done.
Again.
Game 7 was anticlimactic, and we'll get to the whole injuries and everything, but you can't discount the fact that they were the best team in the league really for the last 2 years.
Right.
And what's scary about them winning is last year you could attribute it to youth, and this year you kind of put the expectations on them that they're supposed to win it. And I think they got a lot of people got lost in expectations because they just got good 2 years ago. Shea has been with OKC for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. This is 6 years in the league.
He's been there ever since Paul George went to the Clippers. So
since Chris Paul was there. So the fact that they got so good, first of all, they sold Shea. They kept Shea, which shout out, that might be the greatest Sam Presti. All the picks that we talk about, and I'll talk about those in a second. All the draft picks and the flipping and the swapping. He convinced Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who many viewed behind the scenes that know basketball as the next guy. He convinced him to stay in OKC and be there and say, hey, I'm going to pay you this money. You got to trust me. You got to trust me. And he had a process. Now, I ain't going to say he went by the process because Paul George, Russell Westbrook kind of accelerated the process for this team.
I think there are two things there. Number one, he is a guy who can collect talent. And you see across the NBA, it's a lot of teams who can't. Our team, if you look, but I will say that I think that first learning experience prepared him for his second time. All right, I slipped up. I didn't get it done. And I still don't really think it's him. I think it's more coaching, but whatever. Championship didn't come to OKC. This time I'm going to get it right. They had some things fall their way. You know, let's be real. Chet and that foot injury was scary, especially as a guy that big. It's great that he was able to be healthy and play a ton of basketball this year, even when he came back. I mean, you're right
to say
he
missed 50 games because of the hip.
Right, from the hip, but still came back and was able to play. Jalen Williams has really lifted himself into a different stratosphere than I think people really consider. That he is elite two-way guy. Third team all NBA, third team all defense. I mean, especially when you look at guys like Tatum, who's going to be out for a season. Jalen Williams is in a prime position to try to be that next guy.
They have OKC, this young team, outside of Caruso, nobody's older than 26. Lou Dort is a linebacker, and they're going to lose probably 6 or 7 people off this team within the next 18 months. But they have so many picks. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 picks in the next 6 years, including
they got
2
2
picks
in this draft.
This year, this draft, 2 in next draft, 3 next draft, 2 in 2027, and then it goes back to 1 pick every year, 2028, 2029, 2030, right when all of these players' contracts are up.
And I think that if they're smart, they kick the can, they package and repackage. All right, well, I'll trade you one of these fringe guys. I'll trade you one of these fringe guys. In return, you give me your first round pick in the future. I'll trade you a guy and a pick because right now they don't really have a guy. I mean, we can talk about this now. Nikola Topic is the first player to win an NBA title before playing in an NBA game. This guy is going to be available next season. So, and what do? I mean, there's honestly not even a place to probably play him right now. The answer is probably just stick him in the G League or trade him.
I don't know if you trade him, but where they suffered the most, if you want to nitpick this team, and that I noticed with Indiana, is the backup point guard. They're running Jalen at the 1, or they were running Cason Wallace, which is cool. But I think Topic, for him being what he is, he's kind of like that big facilitator. He can score crazy, but he can also pass the ball very well.
19 years old, and he's 6'6", and he can pass, shoot, and dribble. Sam Presti is picking all the guys that I've been telling y'all that you have to start picking now. If they not 6'6" or better, don't call.
So you have him in the background, and I think what they can do with their players is just fill in the blanks. The blank is the backup PG. That's really all they really missed.
Correct.
They were so good, they masked the coaching errors now for this. They have everything. They may be the new dynasty and have Sam Presti almost. I wonder where he voted on terms of all of these super team votes that they had and stuff where they were talking about, because the way that he built the team, is almost like he was ready for the disbanding of the super teams and he took advantage of it right then and there with Adam Silver.
You mean that you could read the CBA before it comes out and create your team around it, not like your name was Matt Ishbia and you act like you can't read? You mean that's like a thing that people do?
Shout out to him, and of course he learned it from Spurs organization and he took it there. SGA. How you feel?
This is the part that Reggie just alluded to was, hey, we need backup point guard minutes. SGA played 34 minutes a game. You only need a guy for 12 minutes. I mean, and I will say there are going to be enough older guys. I mean, Chris Paul, would you be? I think that there's going to be a big market for Chris Paul.
Chris Paul staying right there with Wemby. He ain't leaving.
It depends. You could go to New York. You could go anywhere where all we need is a little bit of extra facilitation. But number one, congratulations to SGA, regular season MVP, scoring leader, finals MVP. This puts him in one of the most elite categories. There are very few humans to ever walk the planet to do all three. Congratulations
Kareem,
to him.
Mike, and Wilt, I want to say. No, Wilt wasn't finals MVP. Him, Mike, Shaq. Yeah. That's who it is. Woo! Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's hell of a season.
Yeah.
Hell of a season.
You can never take that away from him. It looks like I don't think that he's in his prime yet. Even if he was. Even if he is.
But his prime
33, crazy 5 and 6.5. Yeah, that's fine.
That's crazy to say because he's 26. You normally enter your prime I think he's entering his prime. His peak powers will be. We're about to see. We have the ability
to 30.
To see Miami Heat LeBron style, where it's like there's just nothing that you can do. There's nothing, and he's so good at creating separation and getting to the elbow that there's he and Nembhard. Shout out to Nembhard. He played him tough. Once Shea hit about 2 or 3 of them shots, he hit the 3. I said, well, y'all can go ahead and kiss this one goodbye.
Right. And you're right. Nembhard, I want to give a lot of respect to the Pacers. They played their ass off. It was really unfortunate to lose Tyrese Halliburton to the Achilles so early in the game. I respect the Pacers for, number one, going into half, the Pacers were up. And eventually I think the devastation of the injury set in, and you just not having enough juice for the best team in basketball. I think you just get to a point where, hey, we're good. And I think that those Pacers guys are a lot better than people give them credit for. But you just eventually run up into a buzzsaw and you need your leader and you need his 15 points and probably his 10 assists in order to win the game. But tragically, we lost him in the first quarter to an Achilles injury that's going to have him out for the entire 25-26 season.
What's sad, what makes this even worse, shout out to SGA, first of all, for being the consummate professional, is I'm not going to lie to you. I think I picked OKC in 6, and you picked OKC in 7, if I'm not mistaken. What was going on here is, this is all hearsay, speculation. I think we were on our way to being wrong. Tyrese Halliburton was 3 for 3 from 3.
Right.
He had a couple of assists.
He looked very confident.
And I think he had 13 points. Rick Carlisle was very upset that they had the buses there, painted, ready for the championship.
Right.
And OKC, as good as they are, they're still a young team. And TJ McConnell Dellavedova was having a hell of a game and playing out of his mind. We were on our way to seeing
I agree.
Indiana lose. And then
I would have been okay with that too.
With that, exactly. I have no ties to either, and this is small market teams. It is what it is. When I saw him fall and they immediately cut away and they said he's banging on the floor, I said, "Oh, I know this Achilles. I know what this is."
Unfortunately, the NBA, we've seen it so much that it's like a thing now. And then we all basically doctors at this point. We go back and watch the replay. You see the same thing that we saw with Kevin Durant. Same thing we saw with Jason Tatum. Same thing we saw with Dame Lillard. You can physically and unfortunately, at the slow motion, you can see the Achilles pop every time. It's a gruesome injury. He looked to be in a ton of pain. I respect him for going out.
That was about to be my
guns
next
ablaze. He said, "Hey man, if I can walk, I can play." And I don't know if that's ominous or sad or all of the things, but he wasn't gonna go out like no chump. And I know everybody calls him Urkel and all these things. That kid ain't
Stefan Urkel, get it right.
Yeah, he gave it everything he had, and that's what we ask of players now.
Well, I think he was put in a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right. So the reason, and I've heard a lot of people say they told him he shouldn't have played, or they say he played and you have to play. My 2 cents on it is this. It's different from Kevin Durant. It's different from Jason Tatum because Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum already had rings. Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum were in title towns. Right. Boston and Golden State is a title town now because of everything that's going on there with Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, that whole dynasty right there. Tyrese Halliburton had a chance to become the greatest pacer by default of all time just because they would have won a championship.
Still and top 3, though. Still top 2.
And not only that, he would have had the greatest individual playoff run of all time. Yeah. No shade to LeBron because that 2016 championship is crazy.
He would have been the new Slim Reaper because he was murdering big dogs.
He would have hit a game-winning shot over every team, and they would have beat 2 number 1 seeds and a number 2 seed and a number 3 seed, the best team in the league in the East, the best team in the league in the West. And they were on their way. That's the thing that hurts so bad is they were on their way in that game. Game 7, I'm convinced that they were at least it was going to be down to the wire.
And they gave him hell with no Tyrese for 3.5 quarters. I mean, it's unfortunate we didn't get that's the biggest thing more than anything. It's unfortunate that he's gonna be out the next season, and it's unfortunate that we didn't get to see their best player, the Pacers' best players, and OKC best players just duke it out. But it was a great finals. The playoffs have actually been really good. And once again, even the play, like everything leading up to the play-in now, basketball, after playoffs start after All-Star, if y'all haven't figured it out. And if your team ain't figured it out, you need to get on.
Y'all can say y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like the play-in. That shit is here to stay, bro. They not letting that go because it makes meaningful basketball, which is what you need.
Now,
I'm gonna ask you about the Hawks here, but I'll wait until we get further down.
A move made right before this is very interesting. The Pacers traded their first round pick. They got their first round pick back, and they traded the 23 overall pick this year and draft rights to center Mojave King. So next year, the Pacers will have and draft pick, and they're giving up the 23 this year. I honestly think that this is a really good move because this pick is going to be okay. But I mean, with no Tyrese Halliburton and a wide open East, I don't know what they look like. So you might be, lottery or, mid-round pick, which could be really good for a team who's going to have to make some decisions because your Neesmiths and your Nimhards, they going to want their money. Benedict Mathurin, everybody ain't going to be able to go. So at least you have an opportunity to replace the guy and you get your pick back.
Yeah, it is. I looked at this for what the Pelicans are trying to do. It's a way that they can kind of get draft capital this year and try to build and start the rebuild.
They ain't doing nothing till they get rid of Zion. If you don't get rid of Zion, the Pelicans, I assume you're not trying to win at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, you say get rid of, who's going to take him?
New York. My answer is always tell them New York.
He ain't going there.
New York ain't look, they still ain't got no coach. You dare take him or send him to Phoenix. I'm sure that Matt Ishmael will have a new shiny toy that won't work in his house that he loved to have. So yeah, great. I could do it.
Yeah. So again, shout out to, this was a great finals. Aaron Neesmith, a lot of the Pacers, if there's any consolation for the Pacers, any consolation at all, it's the fact that a lot of them made money. Andrew Nimhart made some money. Aaron Neesmith made some money. Miles Turner,
he made it.
He got a rebound, bro.
He made it.
Rebound, nothing.
So this is the thing. He made it. He made them where they're probably gonna have to overpay for him. He's not gonna be cheap, but there are gonna be enough teams that still want a guy who's big and tall and space the floor and rim protect. So they're gonna have to probably go into the tax for him, and you're gonna go into the tax. Now, I hope that they should get some level of reprieve because Halliburton's not gonna be able to play, but potentially Nimhard, Neesmith, and Benedict Mathurin should make more money because they're going to all have to play more next year because you're not going to have Tyrese Halliburton. So
Nimhard for sure. Nimhard might be the point guard.
Yeah.
So and if I'm any other team in the East or any other team, I might pay a couple of million extra for TJ McConnell. Let's just get him off of that team because he is too valuable to them.
Right. And I mean, if I'm TJ McConnell,
I don't leave. I might get more money too.
I don't know if I don't leave. I think I do leave. He ain't got that many more seasons. And
he's like 31, right?
Yeah, I felt bad for him. You could tell he was like, man, I want this.
This was it. This was it. This was the Pacers year.
And
I all lined up.
I've been telling y'all all season. I said, hey man, y'all might need to watch TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin, who Obi didn't play his greatest game, but I think that he's a guy who
I don't count this game. The emotion was gone.
He is a rotational basketball player who can kind of he can shoot it. He's a finisher at the rim. He runs with pace. He plays decent defense, and he's 6'9". And that's what honestly, that's what the Knicks need back.
Yeah, but they also the Knicks got outbid twice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean,
it
is what it is.
Woo!
Yeah,
both your 4 power forwards that you didn't pay,
right,
made it to the finals.
Got right the hell away from you and got to life. Speaking of moving on, big move on. Ime Udoka signs a long-term contract extension with the Houston Rockets, makes him one of the highest paid coaches in the NBA after a 52-win top 2 seed team in the first time in 7 years. That boy moved on like Maya. I got right on to a better city, and I got this team of little monsters over here. Y'all got y'all
right
championship
with
in
the blacks.
Boston without me, and that's fine because I'm going to make them pay over here. And then after they sign Udoka, go ahead and bring that down. Here come the magic. Kevin Durant traded to the Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and the 10th pick in this draft and 5 second-round picks. What do you think about this? Then I'm going to talk.
What I think he whipping the work. The work. They are Houston. Shout out to Houston. Houston put the whole league on notice right before the finals. Yeah, okay. See, y'all cool, bruh. I see that y'all's Preston. You got it.
Right.
You got it.
Short-lived celebration. Short-lived.
Houston has followed the same blueprint. Quietly, they followed the same blueprint. They drafted a bunch of people. Most of their team is draft picks, if I'm not mistaken.
Minus Freddie.
And Freddie, Dylan, and Steven Adams. But now Dylan's gone, and you parlayed this into, I know Kevin Durant is 37 years old. I know Kevin Durant probably is not going to play the best defense. Kevin Durant is going to be able to shoot over anybody in the league until he's 135 years old. He's going to be able to score. He's going to be the adult, and he's going to be able, and he's at the point where now he plays a lot of team game, a little less ISO ball now.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what you need. And he's cool with Ime. Y'all forget Ime coached him in Brooklyn. He likes Ime. They were going at it when Ime got the job in Boston. He was talking shit. Like, they like each other. So him going there is fantastic. Ime, but can we talk about Ime real quick? Let me talk about Ime. My man has had a 5-year run that will go down in sports history. My man said. And she being Nia Long, he had Nia there courtside, everybody mad. Had the job in Boston, should have won the championship. There's no reason that they shouldn't have beat the Warriors other than Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. I understand that they're great, but they were theoretically the better team on paper, and they were put together well. He then messes up, goes back, comes back like Tiger Woods after he messed up, gets the Houston job, and lucks up and gets the little robot. Everybody else is cool, but he gets the little robot, brings in an adult, and they make it they get upset by Curry is a tormentor of Ime, low key. I forgot he lost to Curry this year. Lost to Curry, but I mean Curry about to retire. And now they are set up and they got Kevin Durant to add to all these young pieces. And I'm going to leave this to you because you know all of the pieces, because I forgot totally about Reed Shepherd. Like, they have so many players, even after trading Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. I think you said a couple months ago that you actually said it all year. Dylan Brooks was the guy that was probably going to be odd man out. And not for nothing, I know a lot of people don't like Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks shot 40% from 3 this year.
Sure did.
Career high. So you had him. And then you had who else? Jalen Green. I mean, Jalen Green's gonna be Jalen Green. He's Bradley Beal to me. But it is what it is. Why? He doesn't play. He's not a winner.
How we bring that back up?
Oh,
yeah. So there are a couple things here for me. The Kevin Durant trade was a great trade for the Rockets. Because, as you've already mentioned, they signed Steven Adams to an extension, which made perfect sense. You got Tari Eason on the bench, who's a 3-4. You have Reed Shepherd, and you have Cam Whitmore. Now, all of that sounds like you probably need a solid young backup point guard. Once again, this is a place where if I'm Chris Paul, hey, man, y'all hiring? I ain't got to play a lot of games. Let Fred VanVleet do the majority of the lifting. And then just in case, if you need an additional facilitator who's familiar with the organization and the city, let me come here and ring chase with and can Kevin Durant get Chris Paul a ring? So they're in a situation where they're ready. Now, me personally, they're going to decline Fred VanVleet's player option at $44 million. That should be understood and expected. Now it's up. Yeah. So now, Freddie, it'd be wise for you to take a pay cut.
Well, they said that it's on. The reason they declined it is because he's not leaving. I'm negotiating, A long-term extension.
Yeah.
4
I
years,
probably
16, 25 million, somewhere in there.
yeah. I would probably do. I'm doing 3 years. I would probably do 4 years, 3 years in a team option. So
Yeah.
it's really 2 years, and if I want to, I could trade him as an expiring. But that puts the Rockets are set. That's the reason I think that they were okay with giving up that 10th pick. It wasn't really any place for him to go. Now, long term, and especially now, I would like to see Amen Thompson play someone to see if he could possibly be their point guard of the future. If you can make him a point guard, oh my God.
Put him in the
Then,
Draymond Green role.
yep. And just, hey, man, and no, let him be Russell Westbrook. Russ couldn't really shoot. He can rebound, he can assist, and he can get to the bucket with the best of them. Dog, 10, 10, and 10. That's very reasonable for a guy like him.
Kevin Durant just on the wing,
Right.
raining threes.
And you don't have to be the master facilitator because KD can pass. And Sengun is still your guy. And you kept Jabari, which that's the only sticking point of this trade, which made no sense to me. It ain't no way in hell. I saw what Jabari did in the playoffs and not putting him with Kevin, with what's his name? Shooting guard for the Suns. I can see his face.
Devin Booker.
Thank you, Devin Booker. Yes, that and I from everything I saw, it looked like Jabari was like, I guess they probably told him we keeping you, but it looked like he was prepared to go somewhere else and be the man. And I thought that was going to be the natural evolution for him. And nope, now you're playing for a championship. I think they have the third or fourth best odds to win a championship next year already.
I think you're speaking as if they're done. I don't think they're done making moves. I think you can still go make a move somewhere else and add somebody. I personally think, I don't know if they're married to Sengun. I'll say it this way. One of them two got to go. It's Sengun or Jabari Parker.
Not now. Jabari Smith. Jabari Parker used to.
Jabari Smith. Sengun or Jabari Smith, I assume, will be moved.
Why? By the time that you have to pay Jabari, because you're going, he's going to get the unrestricted 2 years and you pay him like 20 or whatever. By then, Kevin Durant will be gone. So you'll be able to split the money. Like, this is best case scenario. And then, especially once Fred VanVleet get a normal contract, then that'll be your big three. Amen Thompson, Jabari, and Sengun. And realistically, you probably won't even have to max Jabari or probably Thompson. You probably give him a decent amount of money without it depends on how good they are and if Thompson makes all defense. His offensive upside, if he could get to 15 or 20 points.
Would you trade Sengun and whatever? Would you make a trade centered around Sengun for Giannis?
No.
It'd have to be Sengun and a couple players, and you'd have Giannis at the 5.
No.
KD at the 4, Amen at the 3.
My team too old then. Like, Sengun ain't hit his he's not in his prime yet. Jabari's not in his prime yet. If you do that, you're pushing your team into it's old. Right now, your team is young with one older star. I think this allows his team to kind of keep it going for the future. I'm not. And Sengun is baby Joker. There's not going to be a guy who you can get that's going to be as good as what he looks like he's going to be for the next 7-8 years. Giannis ain't gonna play that long. And if he does, once I don't, he's superhuman, but without speed, Giannis it's a lot to be desired.
Another person that they've been linked to for a second trade is Buddy out of Sacramento.
Oh, DeMontis Sabonis.
Yeah, DeMontis.
I'm not.
So I'm saying I personally don't know if they're done per se.
I 100% think that they are done and should be done. You're gonna play a 9-man rotation. You got your 9 men any way you cut it, and I think that you need to find out what you got in Reed Shepherd. Everything that the rumors say that they believe that he could still be one of the best players to come out in this draft. Yeah, it was last year. So yeah, they still believe in him. And I mean, when we seen Cam Whitmore play basketball, he looks elite. So if you want
he
to
was
move,
so disgruntled, I wouldn't be surprised if they package somebody with Sangoon or Jabari and try to go get something else. I just don't know. Depends on what you're willing to give up is the caliber of star you get.
If I'm Udoka, I'm reselling the kid. Hey man, it was tight this year. We had Dylan. He's a veteran. You know, he's getting paid real money, and he's a more adult basketball player than you are. But we've moved Dylan out of the way. We moved Jalen Green out of the way. You're going to be in our 9-man rotation consistently. At worst, play with us. You'll get to play with KD and get some good tape with better players. Then you go get your money or do all the rest of that, but at least get some good tape. Right now, Cam Whitmore just doesn't have enough good tape to go somewhere. Now, as far as the Suns, you got a bunch of stuff, but your stuff don't make sense. Jalen Green
didn't get a bunch of stuff.
Well, hold on. This is the thing. You got Jalen Green. He's an asset, and he's on a good contract. There are going to be teams that just need a pure scorer. He has that innate ability.
Pass through.
I think,
bro. You don't even come to Phoenix.
I think that it is unfortunate that this trade happened after, because I think that as much as they like Bame, Jalen Green would have been a really good addition to the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there are going to be teams, or send him to Brooklyn. If you're Brooklyn, I think they got 3 picks in this draft. Give me Jalen Green, and I'll send you 2 late-round picks and a player. Maybe Nick Claxton or something, because I think they want to go after a big. So I'll send you.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing but shooting guards on their team right now.
I'll send you Nick Claxton, and I'll send you 2 late-round firsts, and I'll take Jalen Green off your hands. I think that him and Bradley Beal, as long as they can get 3 picks and maybe 1 player for Bradley Beal and get the money off the books, then you can go make something happen. You're going to have players who are available. You just need the money to pay them. And unfortunately, Ishbia ruined all of the money. So now you got to try to sell these assets.
You are ruined.
You got the 10th pick this year. This draft, picking at 10 is perfectly fine. It's going to be something that you need there. And then you got 5 second-round picks, which is like the equivalent of a mid to late round first. And I will actually use all of those second-round picks as sweeteners to move Jalen Green and just move Bradley Beal.
They're high choose. They're high choose. You remember going to the store?
Yeah.
And you have
get them too.
$1.
Yep.
You'd be like, hey, here's 17 cents back. Well, let me get 10 high chews real quick. That's what second-round picks are.
and I think that as bad as they've done, I don't think that he likes being called stupid. And I think that one thing the rumor is he's stupid. So you got to make this work.
Well, they calling your brother stupid too. Like they think your whole family dumb.
Freaking stupid. How y'all do so good in your own business? Y'all come over here and look terrible. And your brother ain't even got the team yet. But I think that people have gotten down on the Suns because of Matt Ishbia, and I don't think that has anything to do with Bradley Beal not wanting to win, or I mean, even like the Jalen Green situation. I don't think he wanted to leave Houston. I'm sure he did not want to go to Phoenix because him and Devin Booker play the same position. So you know, it's a process for them, and as fast as you mess it up, you might have to slow down to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are snail's pace. They got to break some stuff down to build it back up. They are
Right.
online.
Next up, Chris
talk about break
Middleton
it down.
picked up his $33.3 million player option for 2025-26. I will tell y'all my prediction here is he is the buyout candidate. Buyout. Hey, go ahead and pay him his money and let him go on to wherever he wants to go to. I think that, he probably can get one of those maybe $5, $6, $7 million deals and play for a team that's trying to contend. I think that he would be great as a guy coming off the bench for the Knicks. I mean, honestly, hey, you want to come play half a season for the Hawks? We interested. The Suns, they need whatever they can get. I'll take him as the 8th, 9th guy in our rotation. I'd rather have him than Terrence Mann. For 50 games? Hell yeah.
When last time he played 50 games?
What did he play this year? He played a decent amount of games this year. He actually did not. Bad? Yeah, that's what happens when you go to Washington. People just forget that you exist. Who him?
I thought he was hurt.
That's a lie. He played. Nope, this season he played 37 games.
So I thought, yeah, he got hurt. He got hurt last year.
But right? I mean, okay,
he's had 4 years of injuries since the championship season, yes, which he played through an injury. He has not played. I don't think he's played more than 60 games in a year.
Yeah,
maybe the next year.
Well, 22-23, he played 33. 23-24, he played 56. And then last year, he played 37 for the Bucks and for the Wizards. But I'm saying, like, you got to kick the tires on this guy. Is he healthy? If he's healthy enough to play 50, because he's going to be uber cheap and he's still got a mid-range. I'm saying that if you got a team that already
Sean
is
Livingston
right there,
out. Yeah, I get it. Sean Livingston it out. Yeah.
The Warriors, another team. Hey, can I just get a guy who can just play and shoot? I don't need you to do much else, but I know that you are a capable shooter if you're healthy. Now, yeah, I need you to pass the physical, but I mean, I'm sure the Warriors are like, bro, you can't do nothing with you're old, and the rest of this team is young as hell. Carrington, Sarr, they probably gonna draft another guy. And what's your boy who got punched in the face by Draymond?
Ooh.
Yeah. So realistically, yeah, he don't even fit on this timeline. Might as well send him on home. And then, yeah, I'll take a flyer on a guy who's still a mid-range demon when healthy.
Send him to Chicago.
For sure. I mean, he's going to get a job. It's just, is he going to be healthy enough to play 40 or 50 games? But if he's healthy enough, yeah. I mean, hell, Milwaukee might need him back the way it's looking. You want me to keep it real?
I don't think. Yeah. What else we got? Gafford re-signed with the Magic. That was baffling.
Yeah, that to me, I don't understand this move, and I will say why. Because they already have Derek Lively. Now, I do understand that he's under contract this year for $14 million. So the intelligence is you sign him to a very reasonable tradable contract. Now I don't know when you can trade him due to the fact that he already has got 14 million this year. I think that you might be able to trade him this season. And in that case, then yeah, I might be interested in. I mean, I would love for him in Atlanta. I'll do a sign and trade on Clint Capella and the 23rd pick.
At 20 million?
Yeah, no, at 14 this year, 20 next year. Salary cap gonna go up. So 14 this year, hell yeah. And y'all can get Clint for 7 or 10.
And you compare Clint with AD and let AD play out the paint like he wants to.
Right.
I mean, and Gafford is basically high energy, low skill Okongwu. So I'm not mad at it in Atlanta. I 20 million. I don't trust the Falcons front office. I mean Falcons. I don't trust the Atlanta Hawks.
Let that hurt go. Let that hurt go.
No. Well, Falcons, I have left. I'm with it. But the Hawks front office and the ownership and the way that we're going, I don't know what we're doing. But I do agree that we need a backup center, and the way that he plays then would allow Mo Gay to then hang out at the 3,
Right.
and then allow
He's just a
Zachary
good,
Ricochet to do whatever.
He's a good, competent center. And that, I mean, we paying Okongwu the same thing, like $20 million a year. That's a good starter price, $6 million price for a guy who, I mean, Washington, I don't know what the hell.
And
Washington, I don't know what the hell y'all doing, just giving players away so that they can go other places and be successful. But yeah. And I mean, we're not going to be the only team in the market. I mean, the Lakers got to call it $14 million, right?
The Lakers, the Lakers might as well be on the corner. Any person 6'10" or above.
Holla.
I'm trying to holla. Hey, I'm trying to holla. Yeah, man. But again, this is the beginning of free agency. I think there's a lot of chess moves being made. I think people are monitoring Giannis. I think people are positioning themselves to be able, like, this is a positional contract. You're positioning yourself to either keep him as a cheap contract or, like you said, make him tradable.
Yeah, he's like 26 on a 4-year. You might as well say it's a 4-year, $74 million contract. Check box. Yeah, I'll take that on. Yeah, especially with the salary cap increasing, he's not going, like, he's going to be a positive contract, I assume, for at least 3 out of the 4 years, if not all 4 years.
Yeah, Cleveland. I mean, yeah.
I think
backup center is what everybody needs.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Denver. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's how y'all won. Y'all had DeAndre Jordan when he could do something, and JaVale McGee and all of them.
Right.
Yeah,
but
you just need somebody.
Yeah, but now you can't do that no more. And yeah, you need a replacement.
Screwed.
So this is a great Nico, job well done. I know we didn't put you in the mud for a lot of the things that you've done, and I got one more thing here. But this was a very good, for all intents and purposes, you knocked this out of the park. Now, one thing that I did see on the internet, I just really did want to talk about was, you remember Luka had that calf strain too, and Nico was hot because he didn't want to play. And Luka was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna play until my body says that I should play." Now you look at that Tyrese Halliburton thing, and you're like, that,
yeah, but also Luke was out of shape.
Fair, but that calf strain is going to become infinitely
over
more.
With. Yeah, over with. It's over with. It's over. That whole, hey, you could play through the calf strain. They had 8 Achilles injuries this year. 4 in the playoffs. They had 4. There's no way. Y'all kissing goodbye.
Elite players. Like, these ain't just Jags. These are the guys who we came to see. And as much as
you gonna have to, who's the person that Luka was one, but there was somebody else that had a calf strain and they just didn't play for like 2 months. I can't remember who it was, but you just can't play.
Ain't going.
I ain't gonna be there. So it's like, bruh, that's what Halliburton, you kind of understand that. Like I said before, you were in Indiana, you had to play, but this Achilles, this is our like I kept saying this, that the Achilles is our generation's ACL. So when the ACL was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the ACL was devastating. Really, to the 90s, the ACL was devastating. And now with modern medicine and modern technology, you're able to have these different type of operations.
And y'all be having 2 sets of ACLs now, man. People,
yeah, y'all, we evolving, but y'all got to figure out. Y'all got to figure out.
Who's gonna grow another arm?
Y'all got to figure out the games that you play with the injury report ain't gonna work no more. It don't work on the calf strain. You ain't no more calf strain. Achilles is the only thing that needs to be. If it's a calf strain, it's Achilles. Go ahead and call it what it is, and we just not gonna play. Trey had a sore Achilles. Capella had sore Achilles. Okongwu. Hawks was like, you got sore Achilles calf strain, sit out. Don't even worry about playing.
2 sore Achilles. I was like, bro, do you need a new set of ankles?
Yeah.
Yes.
That cost Steph Curry.
Bam. And finally, Ace Bailey's agent is reportedly Sharif Cooper's dad, Omar Cooper, and Cooper wanted to be paid for doing interviews. Sharif Cooper,
Ooh.
former Atlanta Hawk, really more former College Park Skyhawk, who was good in the G League. Elite for us with College Park, then went over to Cleveland, and I don't know their G League team, but he led the G League, I think, 2 years in a row in scoring, and still
Him and
never
Imani Bates was going crazy.
could never get on the floor. And I don't know if Sharif plays anymore or if he plays. I think he plays overseas. And of course, also the sister Tia Cooper, who used to play for LA Sparks, she kind of played and she was good for a while, and then she just became like an influencer. So this is scary to me because of the track record here. And I mean, you didn't. I don't exactly remember what happened with Tia. It was just weird that, like, this girl's a good basketball player. She just could never get on a roster. And then Sharif, there was always rumors that he wasn't the greatest teammate. He kind of
Hollywood, real Hollywood. Yeah.
Right. And just never, I don't care what happens. If you lead the G League in scoring for 2 years, we need to see you on the NBA floor.
That tells me that it wasn't always. You have to kind of take the rumors with a grain of salt, because there's anybody else if they're there, and it's also don't get mad. The Hawks ain't the greatest organization when it comes to front office and everything. We do make some good moves.
Second round picks, but we just got to figuring them out.
So but what's alarming is that he wanted to be paid for doing interviews, and that he's turned down interviews because of this.
And he hasn't worked out with anybody yet. And
this,
he's asking for like a game plan of how you're going to make this kid a star.
This is why there's no way. First of all, I don't know even how you got hooked up with Ace Bailey. I mean, I know y'all everybody from Atlanta, but I don't even know why you would even entertain Omar Cooper being your agent, because he doesn't even have the wherewithal to see what just happened with Shedeur, right? Shedeur kind of did the same thing, allegedly, kind of did the same thing that's going on right now, except for Shedeur daddy is Dion. Right. Omar is Omar. So like you're not paying attention to the landscape and how these owners, because a lot of the owners that they all run together. And to me, this just sets yourself up to fall. Shout out to the Hawks. Y'all may come up.
So it's a little tricky for me because I've been on the record saying that I think that Shedeur is a good football player. I didn't think that he was as good as the way that he was talking. I think you can be good, but going to the NFL owners and say, hey, you want to change your organization, get you or me? You're not that good. You're not that and there haven't been that many guys who I think have been good enough to have that type of conversation. But I don't think you to be that guy. In this case, Ace Bailey, for all intents and purposes, has been the third pick until this week. Everything says Cooper flag, undeniable. We talked about it last week. Go back and listen. Dallison already put out the collateral. I think they got a jersey number for that kid already. The Spurs are in
77.
No, you can't do that. Dirk already mad with y'all for trading his little brother. You better leave that alone. But the Spurs are in an interesting situation, but we do believe that whoever drafts the second pick is going to be Dylan Harper. And then we believed Ace Bailey would be 3, and then probably VJ Edgecombe, Con Kneppel, X, Y, and Z on down the line. But now it looks like Ace Bailey may slide. And they said that he wants to stay on the East Coast, but I don't know what you see on the East Coast that you love.
Atlanta. He's from Atlanta, right?
Where are you going to play? Like, Atlanta's
Backup
you're
two?
not going to be the star in Atlanta, and you would literally be drafted. No, he's going to be a 3 to be the 3 behind the guy who was the first pick in last year's draft, and
Who's taller than you?
he's taller than you. I think that he's probably going to have a better shot than you, and he is a team player. They not.
This
I
is
don't.
ugly. This is an ugly situation. I for the life of me can't see how you navigated your high school from your high school to this point in 18 months and ended up here.
And if you go to Charlotte, you ain't gonna be the star there. LaMelo's the star. You in Atlanta, Trey's the star.
And Brandon Miller.
Yeah, well,
you not starting over Brandon Miller.
No. You would move Brandon Miller to the 2, and you would have Ace Bailey at the 3, which would be scary. But you're not gonna be the star. You gonna be the
3.
You Tito, brother. Hate to tell you. Or you could have went to the Sixers and played potentially for a championship, but you just keep shitting on them. And then I guess the only other team is Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You could be a star in Brooklyn, but that's all you ever be.
So let me ask you this. So now that we're talking about Ace Bailey in the draft, because I kind of wanted to do like a little draft preview, but I don't know enough about college basketball.
Oh, what you need to know? Ask me. I
the Hawks are linked to the Duke Center. I'm not even going. Come on,
Malou.
And I
call him Malou. I know you're talking about
7'2", young Clint Capella looking dude.
Correct. No. Towers over Clint Capella.
Well, 6'11". He's 7'2".
He's 7'2" barefoot. 7'11" wingspan. He is a large human. Large.
Now, again, we talked about before. We talked about the Senegalese women's team. I think he's having issues with, or there have been discussions about.
Don't worry about it. He's gonna be here. He's gonna be here.
Who do you see? Who do you see the Hawks drafting? Because we have 2 picks. What do you see our moves? How aggressive do you think we become this year? Remember, we got a whole new front office now. Again.
Yes. Ansi Salah also spoke today. Quick hitter. He's our new head of whatever you want to call it. He's the guy in charge. He said that pretty clearly today. This is the first time he spoke to the media. And the thing that he said is he drafts best guy, which is interesting because this draft is so after those top really 2 guys is kind of dealer's choice. I think that we want a big, and that's what Yahoo Sports put out today. I could see us going after
Maryland kid.
I don't think they want him.
About to go.
No. Derek Queen. I could see
Derek
him
Queen. Boy, I should be an agent like Omar Cooper.
Yeah, definitely DQ for sure. But he's 6'9". He's a big body, but we already have a relatively small center. Now, there is potential that you could really kind of rotate. You could have like a 3-man front court where you always have Derek, Okongwu, or Jalen on the floor. And that's a talented trio of bigs. So
all of them stop at 6'9", though. You still need size. Pause
right now,
we need size. Pause.
Now, the thing that you could also do is you could still go like backfield, like we talked about Daniel Gaffer. We just need a center. You don't have to draft a center. If we can get Maluk, I think that's great. I am more interested on the backup point guard position. I think that has been a fatal flaw that we have not addressed the entire Trae Young experience. And I think that leaves us with not enough passing and shot creation. The kid who I want is Igor Dimon. Played with BYU. He like 6'9", but he plays point. Or that kid, Kasparas Yakajonis from Illinois, who's like 6'5". We just need guys who can help other guys get shots when Trae's not on the floor, because as soon as Trey's not on the floor, we don't have any passing. And Igor Dimon, I think, is probably the best passer in there. But also Georgetown, Thomas Sorber, he's still like 6'9", 6'10", but he like 240, 250. He's a man's man. He's a big dude. I could see us being.
He's a Daniel Gafford. There's a Daniel Gafford there. He's 6'10", 230, 245.
I think that Sorber is a little bit better as far as I think he's stronger. Sorber is also a man. And then
Have
I
you
see a
fallen
lot.
off the Michigan guy?
Danny Wolf.
He has fallen all the. They were talking about him like he was gonna be a lottery pick, and then they just have stopped talking about Danny Wolf.
Well, the reason that I fell off is I think that he's actually gonna go to OKC. I just see it. I see it. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And then Hartenstein, they re-upset.
Right.
Hartenstein go get another contract somewhere else.
Exactly. And then you just
Danny
have
Wolf
these
right
hubs,
there.
right, who can pass the ball. And you're like, all right, well, Danny, you can be tall and you can play center on offense and you can play power forward on defense. So I've given that up, and I just know that they're going to take a large international player. Yes. I've also started to like the idea of Colin Murray Boyles as like he's like 6'8", 6'9", but he's a strong defender who can dribble the ball. I didn't love him, but specifically looking at he's very similar to Jalen, that he can dribble and kind of move the ball forward. And unfortunately, Jalen just being hurt for 2 seasons, and you could just never have that. You could never have too many guys who are 6'8", 6'9", especially he's a big-bodied human too, and that can dribble and pass. His shot leaves a lot.
So you moving on from Buffkin? You're moving on from Buffkin.
I'm not moving on from Buffkin because I still like Kobe, but you gotta play. I gotta have an insurance policy.
In 3 years now. I mean,
yeah. And the thing about Buffkin is he's a hybrid guard. You could play him and eat. Like, I just want the team to be big. So I want Igor because you put a 6'9" point guard in there, he can play with or without Trey because he can pass the ball. So for me, I just want additional size, or give me another. I mean, I like Murray Boyles because he's strong and he can pass the ball and dribble the ball. But size is the thing for me more than anything with the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
I can do this all.
And then free agency, you know, we're linked to all of the centers in free agency, every one of them. We're linked to Cornette. We're linked to Miles Turner. We're linked to every center.
We can't afford Miles.
No,
and they're not.
You'd have to give up Okongwu. Why would they? And no, Miles is a fan favorite. He's Rick Smits.
Yes, correct.
Rick Smits. So
now Luke Cornette on a cheap deal. I like, yes, but you not understanding he 8 feet tall. So when he does that, you like, damn, what happened to the sun? But I like the in conjunction move. So give me sign Luke Cornette and go draft the center for the future, because Cornette's not really the future, but I probably would like to have Cornette be the third center.
Yeah, be Zaza. That's where I see be Zaza Pachulia.
You could start Cornette for the first, I would say, half of the season to kind of get the rookie familiar. And then I would like to see, hopefully, when we go in after
You're not
that,
starting Cornette's not starting ever.
No. What I'm saying is start him. Let me clarify that. You're right. You start him in the center 2 role, the backup center role. You're right. But this is the thing. If a couple got hurt, Cornette can play center in a pinch for a couple games. So I would do that. And then, I do think that Terrence Mann, 3 years, $15 million, I might be ready to dump that. And I
always said we signed him 3 years too late. I wanted to sign Terrence Mann like 4 years ago because I knew what he could possibly be. But we waited till he's 27, 28, 29 years old. It's like, all right now.
And I want to say it's probably unfair for the expectation of him to come in and learn the system. He's only played with the Clippers his entire career. And then to be thrown into Quinn's system and be like, hey, figure it out. And majority of time, you had him playing out of position. You had him playing the power forward. He's like, bro, this ain't my job. And you got him playing with damn Don Barlow at center, who out there getting massacred. So, I mean, 3 years, $15 million isn't. It's more the time investment than the money. But I would like something better at that spot. But he's not terrible. And an offseason probably.
That's why I don't see him going nowhere because of his. I mean, $5 million a year is
no.
Because of
$15 million a year.
Oh, $15 million. What he could be. Yeah, well, I see what you're saying. If you play him in the correct role, I mean, he could be a defensive prop. Him and low key, him and Dyson were an issue when they were on the court together. They were an issue.
And that would help him out if you had, I mean, after we lost Clint, we just didn't have a backup center. Larry Nance got hurt, and we was just, I mean, it was Don Barlow in
They're
and
talking
out.
about bringing Larry Nance back too.
I don't hate that because Larry Nance is a guy who can play the 4 to 5. And hey, man, Larry, he was scary. Larry, y'all left him open. He hit.
He was hitting them 7 threes in the game. I was like, keep shooting, bro. Larry got game high.
He got right. I was like,
he was still dunking on y'all too. Then he had the
Right.
John Collins injury and his finger fell off, and then
it
all got hurt.
was
But that's all I wanted to bring up with the Hawks. I know that the draft is coming up. And what I really anticipate, and you never know. The draft is Wednesday. I mean, I may hop on here. You may hop on and just kind of see what is going on.
It's going
to be interesting tomorrow and Wednesday. It's going to be some movement.
Yeah, because the Spurs don't need another point guard. Dylan Harper is the best guy available. What the like? I mean, we're probably going to try to package those two and trade up. I don't like it because I would prefer depth. It's something we haven't had in a long time. But
we still got Jirish. We still got Buddy down there that got hurt that was cooking.
Hey, we need more, and we need more.
We need a backup point guard and backup center. I think
that's
the only reason I wouldn't trade nothing is because you need 2 players and you have 2 first-round picks in the role player category type spot that won't kill your bank account, and you can still go and do some moves. So if I were the Hawks, I would keep my 2 picks unless you can move up and get.
I mean, because the other part
I don't see where you move up.
You're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay Dyson. You want to pay Dyson. Let's be real. The longer you wait, the more expensive he could get.
Trey.
And
you gotta
Trey
figure out what you're gonna do with Trey.
Is extension available?
I thought they were going to extend him, but the way I listened to Locked on the Hawks podcast, because he dropped like 4 episodes in 2 days, and I said, that is unnatural. Like he don't normally do that.
Well,
so I went and looked at
Brad
that.
is pretty good, and I will tell y'all, listening to Locked on Hawks, if you're a Hawks fan, it's great. I actually listen to a lot of the Locked on podcast, especially if we're playing somebody a couple times, so I kind of really get a feel for their team. But Brad is better than the rest of them dudes. The rest of them dudes, they talk all loud and too fast. I'm like, talk to me like you know what you're talking about. But yeah, Ansi Salah said, hey, me and Trey are locked in for this season. And as a person who's read the 4 agreements where somebody says be impeccable about your word, I think he chose his word choice extremely specific.
This season is the underlying word.
Right.
This season.
I
his
think
contract is up after this season coming.
Right.
Up, so yeah, I see him moving. I see him move.
I told you, give me Josh Giddey and Lonzo Ball, and we can get rid of Trae Young. The more that I think about it, I really think we should have divested from Trae Young when Adidas did. Because Adidas clearly said, oh, well, no, this ain't working out. We gave you 2 signature shoes. It's time to go. And I just look back and I'm like, damn, them people get paid to be able to read the tea leaves too.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were 2 wins away from the finals, and Trey was on his way to superstardom and stepped on Gucci Mane ref's foot and was out for 2 games, and that was that. Because you couldn't have told me that we wouldn't have beat the Phoenix Suns. I truly believe we would have beat them too.
Yeah, we were, and we never recovered. But I will say this: in true honesty, we didn't really earn that. We go back and look into that regular season. We was mid. That might have been that would have been the biggest upset. I think that would have been the lowest seed to ever win a championship had we won a championship.
Yeah, we were like the 8th seed.
Yeah, like that's the thing is we kind of fell in love with that season. Oh man, we played so great. Look at them records. You mid. It's certain teams you can get on a heater and still the Trey injury was unfortunate, but we was living on a prayer.
Yep. But ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end. If we haven't, I think that's it. We've come to the end of the basketball segment of episode 196 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. I think we got a few things we're gonna talk about in football.
Reggie
Falcons news.
His own segment.
Yeah, huh?
I said Reggie gonna put out basketball as his own segment.
Oh yeah. My bad. Go ahead.
No. All I was gonna say was we'll be right back. We coming back with some football quick hitters. I'm about to go make me a drink real quick.
Turn me up.
And on that, we'll be right back.
Yes, sir. We are back with our final segment of episode 196 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. Our football segment. We got a few things we gonna talk about today. Real quick, we're gonna start out with high school, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's so many different moving parts when it comes to NIL and it comes to the makeup of. Oh, right here, brother.
Salute! All right. Oh God, dog. We really done with basketball. Lord, what am I gonna do?
Basketball is over with, y'all. Basketball is over with. We are now talking about Georgia high school football sports because it's about to be July. Hey, see y'all in August. Just letting you know, we got about one more of these.
Right.
But Georgia. So here it is. Georgia High School Scholastic Sports Association To crack down on transfers. Proof of address required, driver's license, lease agreement, utility bills. An old address must be disconnected. Parental rules. Both parents must be listed on birth certificate if moving between parents. 2 transfer limit. After 2 transfers in high school, athlete must sit out 1 year. These moves answer a whole lot of things when it comes to recruiting in sports. One is both parents must be listed on the birth certificate. Y'all remember the show Blindside? Y'all remember that movie? If those rules had taken in effect in Mississippi, I think where he's from, he would not have been able to play, which is interesting because I think there's other outliers when it comes to like adoption and all of those things. Proof of address, that's always been a scam. You could always go get your grandma's address or something like that, but now they're requiring that you have to turn off the utilities at the other house to prove that you're living where you say. And then of course at the 2 transfer limit, no more Kevin Durant, who is the poster child, one of the poster childs of transferring to different schools over and over again, one of the originators. My thought process on this is this something that will become standard? I know high school recruiting is a big thing in the 3 states, really the 4, which would be Texas, Florida, California, and of course Georgia, which is the number 4 producer of professional athletes. So I don't know if you can enforce this anywhere else. It is a state rule, but I wonder if any other states like Texas, since you're in Texas, where money is abundant, will adopt any of these rules.
I'm sure they're going to be a copycat. If it works, then great. Then we're going to do this too. As a person who parents made them follow the rules, hey, you're going to go to this school. I always hated the people who got to go to different schools. Yeah, this is where my uncle lives. I know where your family lives. They live down the street from me. Why are you going to a whole different school? Oh, well, there's a better opportunity to play sports. So there's a little bit of hate there, but I do think that it could be good. I think that this also probably disproportionately affects Black people.
Yes. So this is interesting that you bring that up because why I know here in Georgia, I'll just speak on Georgia since this is Georgia law for now. Gwinnett and Kennesaw and all of those places allegedly recruit players. I'm from the south side of Atlanta, Southwest Atlanta to be exact. They come down to our neighborhood and take those players, all those players from our area, pay their moving fees, recruit them basically, and then they go play up north or and get paid, and they take all of the revenue that's generated from those players. We just talked about Buford building a $63 million stadium. That wasn't done by Buford athletes. A lot of them transfer. Westlake, I talk about Westlake all the time. Yep. Well, Westlake starting quarterback got recruited to go to Roswell a few years back. They went to Roswell after going 14-2 at Westlake. Went to Roswell, went 16-0, won a national championship. His name is Malik Willis. He now plays in the NFL. He played for Liberty for a while. He was really good. To me, I do think that it's kind of like satellite camps. It will affect Black players because you may not get the opportunity.
I'm looking for the financial requirement. We know non-Black families, we'll buy a house or we'll rent a house for sure in that district if that's what it takes. Mm-hmm. For us, and especially after hearing the DeJounte Murray story where, hey, I live right here, but I can't go to school right there. It is unsafe for me to go to school right there. That's the part is, what do you do if harsh reality, a lot of these kids grow up in not the best neighborhood. So you have to stay at that. You have to go to that school. That might not even be safe. Then what do you do?
I didn't think about
Right.
that. But on that aspect, though, well, we got to see how this does for. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because there's a lot of times we've seen the stories where you get sent somewhere else because it's an opportunity. I think basketball for up north is similar, where they send you to like Catholic school. Maybe that's what it is, where you go to a charter school now or a Catholic school, to where I think those rules don't necessarily apply, or maybe not all the rules apply. I do think now what I do like about this rule is the 2 transfer limit. Yeah, y'all can't go out there and play for 4 schools in 2 years.
We're not in support of kids of free agency. We're not
in high school.
But if you look at where, and I will say basketball is changing now, and it's not really the before it used to be the hood kid sport. Now you get basketball is damn near baseball. With the amount of travel and expenses that come with it, if you don't have enough money, you're probably just not going to be able to get
football
on enough
too.
radars.
Flag football is a whole thing.
It is, but also if you're 6'4" and you run a 4.4, you ain't got to go to no 7-on-7 camps. And I'm a guy who hates them 7-on-7 camps. 7-on-7 don't have no pads. When you play football, pads are a must. So I get so frustrated at 7-on-7. I was like, bro, I was a 7-on-7 murderer. Wasn't a killer
T-shirt
on the
All-American,
field,
bro. I was amazing.
Right. I don't even know what you do on, like, you just tag, you're it. Like, no. So for me, football, size and speed gonna translate. No matter where it is, I don't care if you're the only one. They're gonna find a way for you. But basketball that costs so much money, you have to play in all these leagues. You got to play in all these. You have to play in these tournaments just so you can be ranked. It's not like when we grew up where, hey, where you play? I play at this high school. Cool. Everybody gonna go to the high school. Everybody gonna know how good you are. Now you have to play in these tournaments, or like they've monopolized it where if you don't play in the tournament, they're just not gonna they're not gonna consider you good.
We want to see you play against the top players in your class type, and it is what it is. But I am interested to see how these rules are implemented in terms of these transfer rules all over. I know they're going to be adopted in the South, but how they're going to be adopted in the largest populated states.
If Georgia does it well, prepare for due rest. And I think that I don't know how to do this, but I think that there should be a high school players. Like there needs to be unions. I hate to say it that way, but there needs to be a high school players union and a college players union.
Especially since they allow for players to get paid by NIL, it's a states thing. And so I think Texas is one, Georgia is another, Florida is another.
It's just so tricky because these guys are filtering out every 4 years. It's difficult. You're basically going to have to like create this and then have, well, I'm saying like freshman year, sophomore, junior year, senior year, then you're gone. You don't have any more investment in this ever again. And you're constantly having new people. It's difficult to get everybody to be on the same plan when this 4 years for me versus these schools and these coaches and athletic directors are going to be there 10, 15 years. So yeah, I'm making rules for right now. Like they want rules for right now. They want rules to stay in control for the next 15, 20 years. It's surely something.
It's something. I just wanted to bring that up because all of my high school coaching friends going wild over this.
It dropped in a couple of my chats today too. It's going to be
quick hit for Cornell Powell. Shout out to Cornell Powell. For those that don't know who he is a 2-time college football champion. Played for the University of Clemson. He won a national football championship. I'm sorry, he won a Super Bowl, and he is now also a UFL champion.
2 Super Bowls.
He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, I believe, with the Chiefs. My bad, didn't mean to shortchange your brother.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is dope.
5 rings in 9 years is crazy,
man. Being at the right place at the right time is half the damn battle. And I love this because one thing that comes with championships is checks. You get extra money for all them extra games, and then you get a championship bonus. He got 5 championship bonuses.
Yeah, and perseverance. Shout out to the perseverance too, man. I'm a play basketball, and I'm sorry, football. I'm gonna play football, and I'm gonna produce everywhere I go.
Right.
He's a consummate teammate. Everybody, and you can't keep getting jobs if you're a bad teammate. So shout out to him, man.
And run me my trophy case. I'm putting that in the foyer. As soon as y'all walk in, my goddamn. How you got? Yeah, these my trophies.
And so for him to go to Clemson, he was good in high school. Right. I won't try. I'm gonna have every picture you gonna see from age.
You gonna be sick of me. You gonna be sick of me now. Life has been. I've been blessed and highly favored. I know you probably haven't been, but I have.
All right. Well, so while we talk, let's move on to the Falcons. So the Atlanta Falcons' top 4 draft picks are expected to be put in starting roles this year. That is going to be Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., Billy Bowman, and Xavier Watts.
Correct.
It just sounds like a producer name for some reason. But Xavier Watts. So, and I am not surprised that these top 4 players are going to start. We already knew the top 2 players were going to start. That was said once they decided to trade their first round pick for next year, that James Pierce Jr. was going to start. And let me tell you, they started to whisper about him. They said the first step is real. His first step is real off the line now. And they said Jalen Walker is just Jalen Walker. He's a football player. He plays literally everything. I'm excited.
I can't tell you, bro. I love me some Jalen Walker, bro. I like them both, but I like them for different reasons. I like Jalen Walker because he looks like the motherfucker. He looks like the, hey, who's in charge? Jalen.
Me.
And then James Pierce Jr. Who ass need to be whooped?
That's what bro, look. They look like Abbott and Costello. They look like they gonna come and Jalen Walker gonna try to talk nice to you until you calm down. And James is gonna stand there like, I dare you to say something. Just let's flinch.
I let him talk because I like him. If not, I'll be to whoop your ass off.
And don't forget that just because James Pierce gonna whoop your ass, that Jalen can whoop your ass too.
Right. And I mean, I'm trying not to get excited about this team. But
I'm out here. Fuck y'all.
I'm excited. I mean, because the other part is when you talked about, Xavier Watts and Billy Bowman, we hit on both. They're positive draft picks. We thought that they should have been drafted a round earlier. We hit on both of those. And Kobe Bryant's still out there. I'm trying to not let the Falcons ruin me. I'm excited about both of my teams right now. The Hawks, hey, y'all just stick to plan, draft these 2 guys, and just ease it on. Just make it work. The Falcons, we finally got a quarterback. We got a receiver. We got a running back. Kyle Pitts, you got to the bye week. And the defense, there's so many guys on the defense that it's just like, it's got to work, right?
Yes. So here's the thing about the defense. I said that I've been on record, and shout out to everybody that's joined the Splashcast versus the world. Shout out to everybody that comments on our TikTok and Instagram. I love having the debates there. I said that we're a CB2 away. And I thought that Jair Alexander was going to be the guy. I did a whole video on him. He included the Falcons in his final 4 for where he's going to sign, but he ultimately went back and played with his college teammate in Lamar Jackson. And Baltimore, you can't really go wrong going to Baltimore.
This is the decision where if you have an MVP level quarterback, he wins. He ain't wrong. You made the right decision, bro.
He told y'all go get him, and he was like, okay. So I mean, they went and got Jair.
I wish you would tell them to go get a receiver, but
shout out to Josh. I did. You took the layup. I didn't. I was gonna let it go.
I was fast break, baby.
So with Jair signing, I do want to bring this back to the Falcons. Do you think we stand pat with our defense the way it is right now? At least our secondary. You think we stand pat?
I mean, your boy's still out here, so I'm not gonna say
Jalen.
No. What's the cornerback?
Asante Samuel Jr.
Yes, he's still available. I don't. Nobody's picked him or Zadarius up. I don't think that we're in a place to say no to two. I don't. I would rather have them both or have one of them. I don't think that, because like we didn't fix our situation last year, and we kind of leaned on
it. They were cooking our ass at the end of the season.
And it's one of those situations where you did a good job in the draft, but that don't mean don't do the rest of your homework. We're in a position, like that's the reason I want the Hawks to keep the 2 picks. Like you got a good starting lineup, backfield, because shit is going to happen. Same thing with the Falcons. It's guys out. Like, I mean, if you really look at a team right now, Morgan Fox, Onyemata, Zach Harrison, Jalen Walker, Devon Diablo, Caden Ellis, Leonard Floyd, Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell. That's not.
Mike Hughes.
Yeah. I left Jordan Fuller. I left Jordan Fuller.
You just pulled a Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
Not you.
But if you listen to that defense, you're like, well, damn, that defense it's not a lot on there to hate. And we still got Rook, we got Street, we got Ebiketie, we got Dorless, we got Troy Anderson, we got JD Bertrand, we got Helms, who I like a lot, and Billy and Xavier and Clark Phillips. Like, this is a good.
I think we're at the point of consolidation on the DBs. I think if you're going to make Billy, by Terry saying all 4 rookies are going to be given the opportunity to every opportunity.
I mean,
to start,
D, you out of there.
That means D Alford's probably out of there, and you keep Clark Phillips. That means we're not signing Justin Simmons, or we're not really signing any other DB because Helms is hell on wheels behind Xavier Watts.
I like Helms, yo.
I'm not gonna. I shout out to y'all in the world in the chat, man. I will give Mike Hughes a chance. I could see us standing pat and giving him a chance. But what I will say is, if we're gonna do that, and we're gonna stick with Mike Hughes, who's not a bad corner, I just think he's a really good corner 3 type, rover type player, then we're gonna have to do something about the interior D line. We're banking on Dorless and Rook, Onyemata and Zach Harrison. Well, not Onyemata, but Dorless, Rook, and Zach Harrison to take the next step. We got Morgan Fox and all these veterans that we added to be able to help them along. Yeah. I think he's going to be a trade bait deadline. I think we're going to keep a lot of these players, and I think at the deadline, the trade deadline, we're going to make a move with all of these people that are not going to end up playing that we have. I think Ebiketie, I think D Alford, I think
those are my that's the thing for me more than anything is like Mike Ford at the backup left corner. I'm probably moving on from Mike Ford and I would like to make Hughes the backup corner. And then I would probably like to see Asante Samuel in that cornerback 2 spot. That would really, for me, make me
That's where my mind was. I like Mike Hughes, but I think Mike Hughes is a rover. I think he could be a backup CB2. I think he could be a nickel back. I think he could guard the backside, the backfield. I think he could blitz. I think he's what Buffalo used. Number 7. I have him in my mind. Anyway, number 7 for Buffalo. I think that he's a safety / DB, or Petrie for Houston, or I think they got another one, Kansas City. He's one of those guys that can do it all. And I would
Right.
love for him to stay there. But I do think we need a CB2. But we'll see.
And
We'll see.
like my only thing is we saw what Jesus boy. What Zadarius did as soon as what's your boy from the
Aiden
Lions?
Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson went down. Zadarius gave you all that you needed at defensive end. I don't think we could, and I don't think we should pass. If there's a good free agent and we're getting closer and closer and nobody, why not? Why not? If it can work for Detroit, hell, why not?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. But we'll see. We'll see what the Falcons are gonna do. Again, we about into the dead period. We ain't gonna have a lot to talk about. I'm gonna try to see what we're doing. It's a lot of players.
Take a little break, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
It's a lot of players still out there. We'll see.
A break on the drive.
Real quick, 30 of the 36 unsigned 2025 draft picks or second round draft picks. This is a callback to last week when we talked about 2 second round draft picks getting fully guaranteed contracts, which is unprecedented.
Yep.
I anticipate, and I think I said it last week. Now that we talked about it, I said this is going to change all the negotiating tactics going forward.
Absolutely.
If this would have happened and they were the last 2 to do that,
yeah, cool. Remember we said the agents colluded.
We said this the first 2.
Yeah.
So
not my problem. Honestly, no second round pick. Don't sign none of them. Cool. Don't play.
Whatever. Cut them all. Hey, right. Shamar, come on. Anybody,
right.
Whoever you need, come on.
Whatever you need.
But what that means, and why I brought this up in terms of one of the players that signed was Travis Hunter. So Travis Hunter, they were trying to make a big deal. Travis Hunter hadn't signed either. I was like, bro, he just bought a $10 million house or whatever he just bought. You don't buy no house without knowing that you're not about to be signed. Like you knew you were about to be signed. So he signed 4 years. I think this was 46.5 or 49. Yeah, 46.5, 30.5 guaranteed. Right. He is electric. He is the personality. He has the ability to be the face. And I have followed closely to now, of course, to the tape of him playing cornerback and receiver. Now, I understand that you release what you release. Your pause if necessary. You don't necessarily see all the bad, and you're gonna see more of the good. But I think they have showed him over and over again playing wide receiver and showing how bad he is, and showing him at cornerback and showing just how amazing he is, which for all intents and purposes is true. But what they're talking about in Jacksonville, which is what I think why they really signed him and gave him that much guaranteed money, is his work ethic is crazy. He'll mess up at receiver, go and study, come back the next day and run the route correctly. I ain't gonna say Trevor Lawrence because we don't care about him, but everybody else is at camp. All the coaches are talking about those things. I'm not saying he should play receiver. I'm just saying his ability to learn and adapt is going to make him end up being the franchise player. To me.
So they're gonna do what I said do from the beginning. He's a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
He is, and I told y'all he's not a wide receiver one. And I think that it's very clear that he just can't be that. And that's fine. I know that everybody's like, oh, he's so good at receiver. He's not. Is he playable? Yes. Is he probably somewhere between a mid-tier wide receiver 2 to a top-tier wide receiver 3? Sure. I think that they're probably
CB1 though.
Yes. Numero uno. That is going to be what is important. And I think that this was the other part is even if he's capable, if you're CB1, bro, we need you to be the CB1est of ones. This team needs to win games. So even if you are good enough to play some receiver, bro, that might just not be in the cards for you right now. I know you're going to do the best to make him happy. I think that's the reason they gave him the $30 million guarantee. He's the highest paid non-QB pick ever. as far as guaranteed money. So yeah, I paid you. So now that I paid you more than what most guys at your position get paid, fall in line, big dog. And I think he will. I think that's the best situation for him. Sticking him at wide receiver in certain spots is going to be cool, but trying to make him a part of the weekly game plan, you're only going to run down your CB1.
Yeah, for sure. And before we get out of here, shout out to CJ Mosley. Great career. He's one of the few people. This is how you know you feel old. You see people play their entire career. Like I remember he was getting recruited in high school, and then he went to Alabama, and he was amazing. And then he was part of that group, Nick Saban's first like 2008 to 2012, 13 team. And then he played a bunch of years in the NFL. He was really good with Baltimore. And then he ended up going to get his money in New York. Job well done. Shout out to you. And I'm gonna throw this out there. Daniel Jones is looking to be the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts over Anthony Richardson.
Great job. Go ahead. Do it. Do it. Y'all gonna figure out. I learned, and I'm gonna tell y'all who I got this from. My mama. When people gonna do something stupid, you have to encourage them to do it. Just go ahead and do it.
Not let them, encourage them.
It's the same thing. Oh, Daniel Jones. I mean, not Daniel Jones. See, I got it mixed up with the other guy. Trevor Lawrence. You gonna pay him? Do it. Zion, you gonna extend him to a max contract even though you never earned it? Do it. They already said that they are preparing Anthony Richardson to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that's the best way to get him there. And if I'm Anthony Richardson, it's probably a really good job. I can sit here and just learn for a little bit. And then, y'all can
learn from who? Learn from who? Arthur Smith?
Shane Steichen.
Or Aaron Rodgers?
Shane Steichen. That's who you're going to learn from.
You talking about in Indianapolis? I thought you were talking about in Pittsburgh.
No. Just learn. Take all the pressure off you. Start Daniel Jones. Let me tell you. If anybody can tell you what happens when you start Daniel Jones, please look at the New York Football Giants.
Breaking.
Oh, shit.
The Boston Celtics have traded Drew Holiday to the Portland Trail Blazers for Anthony Simons and two picks.
Oh, well, damn. That's a hit.
They just got off all of that money for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. Celtics trade Drew Holiday to Trailblazers for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. Not gonna lie to y'all. This for who? The Celtics? The Celtics just got really good. Now they lose defense, but I mean, you can go get a defense of somebody. Go get
You probably just kept Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown and Anthony Simons can make it happen.
There's a lot of scoring. Anthony Simons is a microwave, boy.
Microwave. Yes. Let me tell you right now. Yeah, they did it. Congratulations. You moved Drew Holiday. And if I remember correctly, Anthony get paid less than Drew, don't he?
What?
Drew. Now, hold on. I don't think the Anthony Simons is cheap now.
He cheaper than Drew. Drew is like at 40 million, ain't he? 30, 40, 50
Oh,
million?
yeah. 4 years, $100 million. That's that.
25 million a year?
Yeah, that's good. That's and you know, Anthony Simons right dance in the streets. Oh, I ain't gotta be in Portland no more. Smoke this J and I never see y'all.
Try to get out of there. I'm out of here.
Hey, Scoop, be say what? That does not make sense for the Trailblazers. Hey, Trailblazers fire sale. Let me tell you, ain't no way. Scoop, Shaden Sharp, Drew Holiday, and Denny Avija. And you still got Ayton over there. and you got Jeremy Grant. Y'all forgot he is still in the NBA. That team don't make no sense.
We're clinging
Right.
still chilling.
Oh no, clinging like, well, I'm the starter here, and I'm gonna probably get some money here, so I'm gonna stick around. I get it, but everybody else, yeah, hey man, we might need to ask the Hawks. Hey man, go look and see what. Oh, because you got Tumani Kamara too, all defensive player. Shh. Somebody got to go.
And then of course, so that's breaking news.
Damn.
What? Something else?
No, I'm just.
Just to happen. So that's breaking news. And while I was sitting here scrolling, reading this, another thing came up. No breaking news, but I did notice that Michael Parsons Jr. has still not signed an extension.
Hold on, but this is the part. Anthony Simons, he gets 26 this year, 28 next year. The Celtics get a combined $72 million owed to Holiday off the books. They say $40 million in luxury tax, and they're $18 million below the second apron, and Simons is extension eligible. It's a slam fucking dunk.
Hey, shout out to Brad. I mean, he transitioned, and shout out to Danny. Y'all made it happen.
They not done. The timing of this trade is not by accident. This happened before the draft for a reason. They finna get into that draft too. That's the reason they got them seconds. They gonna move somebody else off that team. And
we might need to pie Wednesday. That's gonna be interesting.
Hey, we could probably figure that out. But yeah. The Celtics are who else they got that needs to go? They got one more person that has to go.
No, they don't. The one, Derek, the two.
Oh, I'm probably trying to move Kristaps. I'm getting Kristaps out of there.
Oh yeah, Kristaps. Well, I mean, moving for what? And who gonna take him? He ain't played a full season in 4 years.
My answer is Utah.
I mean, it's always an answer for the whites, right? Send him right on over there.
But this
ain't
is
he from a cold? Ain't he from a cold weather country too?
Don't he look like it? That haircut. But just realistically, you could. I mean, Utah has Taylor Hendricks, Filipowski, John Collins, Lauri Markkanen. All of those guys are cheaper than Kristaps.
Yeah, you flip Kristaps for two bigs, or a big and a pick, or you put Kristaps and a pick for two bigs is what you do.
Yeah, and if I'm Utah, I'll probably take Kristaps.
You take Kristaps, you give me Walker Kessler.
No, it's
got trying to get off him.
Nah, well, I want something. I want two picks. If I gotta take Kristaps and give you Lauri,
yeah.
I mean, the answer is really John Collins, but you don't have no draft. But do Boston have draft picks?
You would know that more than I would.
John Collins would be a good 4 for them. And then you draft your center. Or you call Clint Capella. I mean,
that too. Clint Capella.
Or Jackson Hayes. Like there's just gonna be guys.
I was just saying the Hawks should have tried to sign and trade Capella. If you weren't going to, but I mean, even just sign a trade for a second round pick for anything. You got to let him walk, and everybody's about to try to get him.
Well, that is, I mean, I still think that's technically on the table. We would just have to give something up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trade somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, y'all want Terrence Mann? Or Niang, dog. Y'all could there are things that we could do to make it where it's worth, or that 23rd pick. If we can get a center that's a legitimate center, we'll sign and trade Clint and give you that pick. You ain't gonna get that 13 pick now. But yeah, I would like an established center for that. I'd sign and train Clint.
We filling in a need with that 13th pick. Now the 20, what is it, 24? 24? I don't know.
Now, this is the thing, and we'll be done after this. I would much rather trade that 23rd pick and buy a second round pick. I'll take that Chinese dude who looked like he might be okay. It's this draft. There is enough guys that are gonna everybody can't get drafted in the first round. It's gonna be some decent players at the top of the second round that I would be interested in sending to College Park and then having them come play with the varsity.
This is the new part of sports that nobody's talking about, is because there's so many good athletes that are basically trained from birth now, because of it's kind of like turning to European tennis almost, like where you have the tennis academies. Like, you're gonna get so many good players that are undrafted. Look at the Falcons, get so many players that are undrafted free agents that are 4th round picks, 5th round picks in football, that are 2nd round picks. And basketball is only 2 rounds. Now it's a record low. It's only 100 people, but it's only 32 teams.
It's a lot less junk in a way now. Because the guys are, oh no, I could just go back to college. So yeah, if there's a guy who you really like, there's potential that he could be there at the top of the second round. And this is the draft. If I was the Hawks, sell the printer, buy the second round draft pick, send him to College Park, because we're going to need to backfill positions. And if we could have a guy go play College Park for 2 years, same thing with Juricic. If he play another year at College Park and then comes and joins the varsity, I'm fine with that too. And then we will know what happen. We know how, like, and then, or hell, if Buffkin ain't ready, then if he ain't ready by the start of this season,
he's gonna be ready. He's gonna be ready. He's gonna be ready to play or ready to travel. One or the other.
Right. And if you're not Juricic, I have no issue. And Muhammad Gay, to be completely honest, what he lacks in offensive skill, he has in athletics. Just let him play. Eventually, just gotta let him play. I think he's a playable person. I'll probably be okay with moving Man and Niang for picks and one good player.
Oh, I'm the minivan is on the train, the freight train out of here for me. He's cool.
You got to get somebody who shoot back though. You got to get, like, the thing that he has is the availability to score, like to shoot the three at a high clip. And we don't have enough of those guys. We got to get, we got to figure out what we're going to do with Karis LeVert. We got to have some shooting. We can't go to shit with it when Trey goes off the floor. And everything that I will be doing is, for any time that Trey's not on the floor, I want a tall guard and I want another guy who can shoot. I gotta have it.
Yep. But before we leave, Braves record their first save today by beating the Mets since May 16th. That's 31 games without a save. Broke that streak. Hopefully this is just on the way. Shout out to the Mets being the slump busters as usual. Norwood, if we didn't forget anything, take us out.
Dang, slump busters really become a part of Splashcast vocab for sure. With that being said, number one, more and more Black baseball. Y'all support the guys at the Combine. Y'all support CIAA as they make baseball a championship sport again. Number two, more Lunabotics. We want Black people in space with cars. So y'all figure out how we get around up there. More Lunabotics. Number three, and by far the most important, historically Black college university you went to, your auntie went to, your cousin went to, the person used to laugh and kiki and get in trouble in the back of church. That person sends some money to their historically Black college university. The historically Black college university you go to for homecoming, step shows, just to go get a little chicken off the grill, drink a couple beers, send some money over there. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world. We only asking for $18.68 on behalf of the year the university was founded. I will be making my donation again this Friday. I ask that you do the same. Outside of that, adios, mi amigos. God is love. Y'all stay safe. Y'all keep ducking ice, man, because they haters. We out.
We out of here. Love y'all. Like, follow, subscribe.